And welcome to Week 1, Day 2 of the HCS Pro League Fall Season. I'm Enigma6vs, and joined with me here at the Xfinity Desk, none other than Tom T-Squared Taylor.
Get hype, get hype, get hype. Day 2, let's go.
All right, we had an awesome day yesterday, and we will get into those details. But before we do, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the open circuit in case you like what you see here and are wondering how you can participate from home. You will be able to play in an open bracket. That's going to be on Saturdays, where you will play, and the top 4 teams from that Saturday's open bracket will proceed on to Sunday to play in the legendary bracket.
Yeah, and it's BYOT, bring your own team to these type of events. And there's also some LAN tournaments that are going on, and these I'm really stoked about these. ESL and 343 doing a great, fantastic job of taking in your feedback. You guys wanted more LAN tournaments, and now's your opportunity. So make sure that you guys show up and show your support. And what's interesting enough is a lot of these online tournaments happen, and then there's a lot of team changes. So there's a good opportunity for you to get your team, because top 4 qualify, as you can see, for the open circuit finals. And there's 30 grand up for grabs in Vegas and 25 over there at the Esports Arena. Let's take a look at the dates for everything as well, and just the layout for the fall 2016 season. Again, ESL and 343 doing a great job of releasing all this information beforehand, so there is no excuses for you guys not to show up and compete. As you can see, the Pro League began yesterday, and then we're pretty much doing it big every single week, or most of these weeks, up until the Pro League finals, the 10th and the 11th of December, Kyle.
Yeah, if you're curious about any of the kind of schedules, news, standings that we currently have, you'll be able to find all of that information over at halo.gg. Make sure you check out that website if you ever miss any of the action or want to get caught up and see how you can participate here in those open circuits as well. But enough about the open circuit here for now, because what we're talking about today is going to be the Pro League. Take a quick look at the format here and find out what exactly we have playing out today. We have the top 8 teams here in North America competing in the league, and they will each play each other twice during the regular season. Top 4 teams will advance over to the season finals. 5th and 6th have their spots guaranteed for next season, while the 7th and 8th place teams will fall to relegation and have to play against the top 2 teams from the open circuit events.
Yeah, it was, it's pretty much going to be that battle for top 4. Everyone wants to get into the finals. Every team that's going to be in 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th, they're not going to be happy. Keep in mind, every single roster besides that CLG new Optic lineup has changed. But let's take a look at also the schedule from yesterday and the results as well. Luminosity taking down LOL, that's the Optic squad. Optic Gaming going up against E6 3-0, and then EG taking down Allegiance 3-2. But the big story was Team Liquid. It wasn't a 3-2, it wasn't a 3-1, it was a 3-0, Kyle.
It was so exciting to watch the last matchup of the night, and that sleeper team, Team Liquid, doing big things. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the standings after Week 1, Day 1. Of course, we've got Optic Gaming and Team Liquid both undefeated currently.
Yeah, I mean, still a lot of games to be played. The big thing is Enigma6. I'm worried about these guys, and I'm worried about LOL as well. I want to see these guys really step up. They had a rough day yesterday. Hopefully they've slept it off. They're going to come in refreshed. Today is going to tell a lot about these guys, especially for that LOL squad, because we know E6 can get it going. They had a really slow start last season, and then had that dominant win and dominant run where I think they won like 9 series in a row, something ridiculous, and then ended up getting 2nd place there in the finals. So they definitely have it in them. It's just a matter of when are they going to actually start putting it together.
And you're right, the Liquid Enigma6 matchup will be here today. I want to spend a minute to talk a little bit more about this Team Liquid lineup and exactly how strong they are coming out this fall season.
Yeah, Team Liquid, we thought that they were going to put up a good fight yesterday. I watched the rebroadcast to see what the predictions were and stuff like that, and mainly I was talking about how if they're able to keep up in slaying power, aka win that 2nd Slayer game where they had that massive comeback and they won 50 to, I think, 47 or 48, it was just phenomenal. It was so good to see these guys never give up. They were down, look at 11 kills at this point, and this is against, keep in mind, an MB squad that beat the new Optic Gaming in a scrim, the only team to beat them in a scrim in a really, really long time, months. And we were expecting this to be a close series. It was close, but 3-0, it's the numbers speak for themselves.
You're exactly correct. Now, we also have, Rain and Penguin reuniting here on this team, and they were previously on Elevate at the Halo World Championships and placed that top 4 finish.
Yeah, Rangwin and Spartan Lee, whatever you want to call these duos, it's just a really tight-knit group of guys with really good play styles. I think a lot of these team changes were wise team changes. I know that, you know, we talk about how important it is to stick together. I think that I would really like to see these teams, now that they've really started to filter out and get a feel for one another. I know there may be 1 or 2 roster changes coming up in about 2 weeks, but we have really high caliber Halo being played in the fall season.
And not only that, let's take a look here at Luminosity. Of course, this is the newest organization to join the HCS Pro League. And when you said talked about teams staying together, well, what we're seeing here for fall season is all of these teams that essentially did well at Worlds are just coming back together after the summer season didn't, you know, work out in their favor as much.
I think what's happening is people had their teams formed, right? And maybe the Halo World Championships look at L-Town and Nated, and then they have a disappointing, you know, second place. Yeah, I mean, it's not that disappointing because they walked away with a pretty penny, but Nated ended up going to Optic. You can see he's still wearing the jersey in this photo, and then took a little hiatus after Flamesword retired. So he probably had some time to think about what he really wants, who he really wants to team with. We saw in the interview with L-Town yesterday, he was even worried that he was going to end up getting picked up. So he ended up reconnecting with Nated, and we were seeing that again with also, you know, Spartan and all the rest of the guys on Liquid. So it's interesting to see the duos starting to form.
Yeah, L-Town, Nated coming back together after that second place finish, as well as how highly L-Town was speaking of Denoxide as well yesterday, saying he was really on top of his slaying, and he was kind of like a no-brainer pickup for them.
Yeah, he's playing well. I want to see if he's continuing to play well. He's definitely, you know, an X factor because they're really relying on him to slay. The thing is all these guys can necessarily slay, though, so I wouldn't really put it on one person. But as L-Town was saying yesterday in that interview, how they have the duo of himself and Nated to do the objective, and that's great. You need people that are going to be having the willingness to do it. Why is it called the objective? It's because that's what you need to do to win.
That's a very good point, Tom.
It is. Look it up in the dictionary, I swear.
Good deal. Now, we also have Envious matching up against LOL, and these are 2 teams coming off of a loss yesterday.
Yeah, rough losses, too. It's unfortunate that they weren't playing, you know, that well. I was thinking, you know, well, I guess Team Liquid was playing very, very well, and Team Envious just wasn't ready. I think that these teams were a little bit nervous going in. I saw a little, you know, uncharacteristic mistakes coming out. We saw it from Heinz yesterday. We saw a couple misplays over there towards the Stronghold. Obviously, Maniac dealing with those emotions as well. It's, you know, been a little bit here. Like I said, these guys need to get some rest, brush it off, and come out firing today.
Yeah, I mean, coming off of a 3-0 loss, that is not going to help your map win percentage rate. And we've seen, if we've seen anything from the summer season, is that can absolutely come back to bite you. Just ask EG.
Yeah, speaking of EG, you know, Optic Gaming taking on EG as well. This is going to be, in my opinion, the match of the night. I think, you know, it could go any way, but like we had yesterday, we had that Team Liquid Envy matchup. This Optic EG matchup is going to really say a lot about EG because we know what Optic Gaming, the new Optic Gaming, is going to bring to the table. They, you know, are leaving off right where they did in the previous season, in that summer season, and it's going to be, you know, up to EG, Tawi, Ogre 2, you know, all the rest of those guys to sit down and just continue to build on what they have at the Xfinity House.
Yeah, and as far as like the duos go, we've got Lunchbox and Roy, and they have been battling it out with Snakebite and Royal 2. Essentially the 2 best, almost the 2 best duos in the league that have had the most success and constantly battling back it out, switching their 3rds and 4ths over the course of the season, especially on Counterlogic Gaming, and then picking up Lethal, actually stealing a member from Lunchbox and Roy on that Evil Geniuses squad.
Yeah, they're not afraid to make team changes. We saw that. We saw what happened, you know, with Commonly and Suspector and those guys. Obviously, we saw Ogre 2 getting dropped for Lethal, and now they're obviously going from CLG to Optic. So they're not afraid to, as Zyos would say, make a business decision. So shout out to Zyos and the old school Halo 1 guys. But yeah, I mean, like I said, they're ruthless and they want to win, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so Lethal leaving EG to go to Optic Gaming, and then, of course, Ogre 2 getting dropped from Optic Gaming or the previous CLG roster and going over to Evil Geniuses as that analyst position.
Yeah, it's wild. You know, you never would think that Ogre 2 would stop playing to be an analyst for, you know, a rival team, but he's good friends with these guys. You know, I bumped into Ogre 2 and Ninja at a Rainbow Six Siege event, actually, not a couple months ago in LA, and I was just like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And they're hanging out, having a good time. So, you know, I know that these guys are going to be working together, and yeah, they were outside looking in. 5th place last time. Let's see if they can make a push, because not a lot of people are expecting them to make it into the top 4.
And then to highlight a little bit more on the Envious squad, so disappointing with their finish. As of course, like we mentioned, this team was created to take down CounterLogic Gaming. If you had to pick 4 players, write them down on a piece of paper and say, hey, I think this is our best chance of defeating this God squad of Optic Gaming now, it's probably going to be those 4 players.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing about EG, though, last season. We were saying, okay, EG came out, they won X Games, and then they faltered over there at the World Championships, and then they made the change, and this is going to be the team change that they needed to beat CLG, the new Optic Gaming, and that didn't happen. So there's still a lot of games to be played. Everything does look good on paper, but you need to perform.
Right, you absolutely have to have the chemistry there to find that success, and we've seen that a lot of times over the course of like all-star matches, when you take your 4 favorite players who you, in your opinion, are the best, and they'll end up getting upset by teams that don't have the same kind of consistency on placings, and as far as overall talent would be considered, just don't exactly stack up.
Again, if we're still talking about Envy, then I think that what their weakness is lies in the objective role, like L-Town and Nated for Luminosity. Commonly in those guys, they really get dirty with the objective, and I don't know if any of these guys are going to show that willingness. I know that they all do it, but are they the best objective players? They don't have a top 5 objective player on their team, but they do have just a massive amount of slaying power, and you can really demoralize teams. And how do you run the objective? Well, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you have to slay the team.
Let's take a little bit of a closer look at Pistola, as he is the wizard in this game. He has been considered one of the greatest players of all time in the game. Of course, he doesn't have the same kind of rankings or placings as you see from like an Ogre 2. But between his free-for-all finishes, how many 4v4 events he's won, the 3-peat that he had in Halo 3, a lot of impressive things from this guy.
Yeah, I would put Pistola in my top 10 Halo players of all time. I don't know if he's quite there towards the top 5, but he's, shined, and he started doing this at a really young age. Had that unfortunate hand injury that actually took him away from Evil Geniuses. So it's interesting how his career has kind of played out. And, Miquin even said that he knew that Pistola was going to, take full form again eventually, and no one ever doubted that. I know that he took a little bit of a break when that happened, but sometimes you need a bit of a little refreshment, and that's what we saw Nated do. Took a little bit of a hiatus there. You never know, maybe even Maniac, after he takes his little bit of break, misses it a lot. I know when I took my break, I really missed playing.
Right, even Flamesword as well. I saw videos of him thinking about returning to the scene. It'll be interesting to see if he goes into the open circuit and tries to break back in as well.
Yeah, speaking of those guys, Flamesword and the ex-Optic LOL, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I don't know. I've been looking for information on Twitter or on the forums about what's going to happen with Flamesword coaching. I don't know if I'm just misinformed, but he was supposed to be a huge asset to the team. So if he is involved, yeah, he's going to be a huge asset. But if he's not going to be involved anymore, that's going to be something that they're missing, and they're going to need to be figuring out what's going to happen. When, they have, Evil Geniuses, for example, has Ogre 2 and Taui. They need something like that. There's no reason that they shouldn't have, an analyst. They shouldn't have a good coach. They need to put that full team together and take advantage of these things.
And it was good to see, with everything that LOL, formerly known as Optic Gaming, has been going through, that they didn't just, roll over and die. They actually put up a good fight.
Yeah, they're LOL. They're not Raffle. They're not ROFL. So they're not going to roll over anytime soon. I wouldn't worry about that. You're right. They put up a good fight, mainly in CTF Truth. But that's what they did a lot of times last season. They looked really good on one map, but the other 3 maps, it's just like they lose one close one, and then they just fall apart. So they have to just string it together. And once they start getting the confidence, they can continue to grow.
And, of course, we want to hear your thoughts participating in everything that's going on, whether or not we're doing the predictions, who you think are going to win the matches, or just to hear from you watching the show at home. Make sure you tweet at us using the hashtag HCS or at HCS or at ESL Halo as well.
Yeah, so many tweets from you guys yesterday. We really appreciate the show. We're bringing Halo back. It's not really about us, though. It's about the players, 343 working with ESL. So it just feels so great to be a part of this, and thank you guys. Make sure you continue to hit us up.
Yeah, and I ran a couple polls to see what the community was predicting. We had over 1,000 votes on a few of them. Interesting enough, for example, yesterday, Team Liquid versus Envious matchup, I think it was 85% in favor of Envious, but yet we saw what Liquid was able to do to them.
Guys, we're wrong. Come on, get to predictions better. No, my predictions, I think we did a little Facebook live stream if you guys missed it not too long ago. I think that was last week on Wednesday, but I had my predictions. I think I was 50%. So, you know, definitely going to be an interesting season. We don't know how this one's going to play out.
All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in store here for tonight. Of course, the very first match is going to be Enigma6 matching up against Team Liquid, followed up by a sure to be a good pleaser game, the Allegiance versus Luminosity, an LOL versus Team Envious matchup, and then one I'm really excited to see. We talked about it a little bit before, the Lunchbox Roy versus Ogre 2 Snakebite duo. That's going to be Optic Gaming and Evil Geniuses battling it out.
All these teams very evenly matched besides possibly LOL and Team Envious, but when you actually look at what happened yesterday, LOL has a better map win percentage, so technically if we're looking at the season, they're favored, but we all know that Envy wasn't playing up to standards yesterday. But with that being said, I really think that every single one of these games could go either way, possibly besides match 3.
And like we said, the very first matchup of the night, Team Liquid going up against Enigma6. So let's go ahead and take a look at these two teams. Enigma6 obviously coming off of a pretty rough start to the season, had some issues internally as far as getting to the matches, forfeited game 1, and really did not show up in games 2 and 3, and just allowed Optic Gaming to run away with it.
Well, we're talking about how mental everything is. When you go and you give up the first map because you have to forfeit, it makes it really hard to win game 2, and then you're going up against the best team, the team that won the summer finals that you lost 4-0 to, so you're not making it any easy on yourself. And now you're going up against a Team Liquid squad who beat Envy yesterday, was supposed to be the second best team. So Spartan, commonly Rain, and Penguin, we were talking about these guys a little bit before, but they are a solid squad. They're your sleeper team, Kyle.
And looking at some of the facts here about these teams, we already mentioned it once, Rain and Penguin coming back together. They both went their own separate ways, thinking they'd find more success, and realized, hey man, let's get back together here. It was working out better when we were on the same team.
Yeah, for sure. And like I was saying, E6 is going to have their work cut out for them. It's going to really say a lot about E6 today. Again, they're a very resilient team. So taking a look at Kratos, Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo, Stellar, and Suspector, they're a very, very talented group. They have what it takes when it comes to the play styles. They have the objective mixed with the slaying power, things like that. So again, these guys they have to just focus. They really have to focus, and hopefully these little issues that they had yesterday with lagging out and, you know, all of the mishaps that happen, hopefully it's a smooth day today, no technical difficulties, because those can really, you know, get in your head and affect you. It's different for every player, but sometimes the morale can go down a little bit. And also when you talk about just like the spawn system and stuff like that, resetting the map, the other team may adjust their beginning strategy. You never know. So things get a little bit complicated when you reset.
Yeah, we talked about Penguin and Rain coming back together. That squad here on Enigma6, Kratos and Suspector were two of the members on Team Allegiance at Halo World Championships that finished second. So another example of these teams coming together. You had Naden and L-Town now rejoin forces on a separate team. Kratos, Suspector come back together, but rejoin forces on a separate organization once again. So like we said, really interesting to see how everyone is kind of falling back into place of where they stood at that just enormous tournament.
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate that, you know, Kratos has the best placings besides everybody on CLG, the new Optic. So, you know, placing second, numerous top placings is going to put him up there, and also top 5 in prize money as well won. So he definitely has what it takes to compete. I'm just a little bit worried from what I saw yesterday, and I hope that it was just a fluke.
And let's go ahead and take a look at the vetoes here for this game number 1. As it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams are going to, you know, match up and how they determine these specific game types, because there's not a whole lot of information to go off of with all of these new teams forming, and vetoes aren't something that really happens in any sort of online scrim. So of course you can get a feel for maybe who's good at what specific game types, but it ultimately comes down to how you perform here on match days.
I actually like this pick for E6 here. CTF Truth, Eden Slayer, Plaza Stronghold, Stasis CTF, and then Regret Slayer. I think they have an opportunity if they take one of these first 2 games to walk away with this one 3-2 or 3-1.
And we do have the players set up in the match. Very first game of the night is going to be Capture the Flag on Truth. Of course, this is the very first 3 captures to win. We'll go ahead and take that victory. We've got the sword here on the map, and we've seen that put to really good use all all day yesterday as well. A lot of sword kills. I want to go ahead and kick this one off with Spartan. He did amazing things yesterday, and I want to see how he's going to perform against this E6 squad.
Spartan immediately making his way towards P3 and then gets shot by a guy top center. Fortunately for him, commonly had his back, so that's good teamwork coming out from these guys. Not sure what Bubudubu's doing, running straight from bottom center all the way to under the base, but he actually gets away with it, so he's going to be at the enemy base. The camo guy gets lit up. That's going to be Kratos, so big kill coming out from Spartan. Not really sure what Kratos was thinking there. He could have definitely played that one a little bit smarter, and then Bubudubu again trapped under that base. So 2 misplays coming out from these guys that should be able to give Team Liquid a little bit more map control. Spartan needs a little bit more assistance over here towards pink side. Either someone needs to flank car side or he needs someone to go window to top center. So fortunately, someone did push top center. That's going to be Penguin. So now they're starting to fill the positions on the map that they need to, taking up some real estate and trapping E6 in their base.
I mean, Kratos really needed to play that one differently with that camo. He was essentially playing the same way as he would, not having any sort of advantage. And when you grab that camo spawning once every 2 minutes, you need to make sure you stay alive.
All 4 dead. They're fresh dead. They're going to be spawning over there in the bubble area. As you can see, they're popping up. We have the player outlines. That's going to be Kratos trying to just go back to the base. They're going to give this cap up. This is going to be 1-0 for Liquid. That's a hot start, and that's a result just from Spartan staying alive over there pink side and just the misplays coming out from Kratos and Bubudubu. But yeah, Spartan's playing this one pretty much to perfection so far.
And look at that, what a great melee, but misses a few shots. Kratos, awesome play to stay alive there, avoids any shots, dodges a few, and actually takes out Spartan as well.
Penguin over here being a nuisance under the base, laying down some shots. Someone's going to have to come back for E6 and take him out. Looks like someone's on top of the base, possibly going to drop in front. That's 2 people dropping, so he's taking at least 3 people to look at him and still gets the flag, probably tossing it out bottom center, so good play. Commonly also getting a kills. That's 2 kills now. This is a really good opportunity for him to cap this. He should just go right for the flag because there's a splinter nade still there, dude. Come on, what are you doing? You got to remember that. Bubudubu picking up 2 kills. That's a missed opportunity for Penguin.
Yeah, he kind of jumped right back into that one and gave Bubudubu essentially a free double kill there, so that's going to stop that flag run. Now, essentially, Team Liquid needs to be really careful going for this and overcommitting and allowing a counter cap to possibly happen.
Nice job by Kratos using that thrust, getting the kill onto Penguin. Camo's coming up here pretty shortly. Team Liquid not in position for this one, and E6 is, so that's Bubudubu making his way towards it. Picks that one up at 55. Does get burned by Rain, though, so nice job by Team Liquid, at least getting the pick when they need to, but Suspector's collapsing, picking up a couple kills, but commonly keeps popping up on the kill feed, and that's so important because you need to get these kills when the people are flooding into your base so you can stop the aggression.
And now Bubudubu controlling car 1. Doesn't look like the sword is currently up, so we'll try to keep an eye on who has that one. Commonly doesn't expect a player to be hiding or crouching car 1 right after he comes off spawn. Car 2 in the bubble. Now, Rain does know there's a player there, but Spartan with that fuel rod or fuel cannon there doing some damage now on Enigma6.
Yeah, fuel rod kills coming in for Spartan left and right. He's picked up 2 or 3 so far, but meanwhile, Stellar, I think E6 really likes to just jump into splinter grenades for some reason, or any of these players have been just jumping into splinter grenades, but meanwhile, Team Liquid's just pulling this flag out and getting slays. That's 3 dead. Where's the last guy? He's going to be car side. This should be another easy cap for Team Liquid. That's going to be 2 quick caps coming out from there. I don't think Stellar's going to be able to do anything, and Commonly's already looking for the next cap here as they're getting kills. Spartan hasn't died with that fuel rod. That's going to be Suspector dropping to Spartan as well. Ooh, Commonly couldn't get the flag toss out there, but still a really nice job slaying as he's going. And Spartan also has the sword, so had fuel rod sword and is just a monster in the E6 base.
And now Penguin getting another flag cap. We're not even 4 minutes into this game already, and it's essentially a massacre happening to Enigma6. He is going to be taken down with that flag, but nobody in position to stop that. They pick up another kill here. They may still be able to put this one in.
It just seems like everybody from E6 is overextending, and they're not really accounting for everybody on the Team Liquid team. As you can see, Spartan was just crouching over there P3. He could even stayed P3, but he's going to elect to go for a flank here. He needs to clean these guys up really quickly. Stellar beelining it right for the flag, get it in desperate. Camo's coming up soon, but I don't think that's going to be enough for E6. E6 actually picks up a couple kills. That's the flag guy. It's 2-on-2, trying to get the return onto the base. Commonly doesn't toss it up. That's actually good for him. Bubudubu's not going to be able to get that return. Fortunately for Spartan, he does have 2 grenades. A couple players collapsing on him, but his teammates are spawning. Kratos with a nice grenade, though, as his shields were coming back, and gets the flag P1. So nice job by Kratos, making sure that they're not going to lose this game quite yet. And Suspector also picking up the camo. So big plays coming out from E6 E6 to try to stop this one.
And that was a good job of them starting it. They're starting to show some life here. Fuel Rod and Camo is going to be pretty much the best combination you can hope for. If he's able to get this weapon or this combination into their base and stay alive in the attic, he's really going to be helping set up this team to put in their first capture.
Yeah, he's just playing too aggressive when he's no shields, though. Not letting his shields recharge and then running into some grenades when he doesn't necessarily have to. Seems like the communication for E6 may be a little bit too hectic. That's kind of what happens sometimes. You overextend and make some misplays. And Liquid, they're just consistently getting kills when they need to. Even though E6 has been able to, you know, get that return and show a little bit of aggression, the way that this playstyle and the pace of this game's going is heavily in Liquid's favor.
Now Stellar wasn't able to push out pink side. You see several members already locking down P2 for Team Liquid here. He is going back to try to help contest that. 3 members down, including a ground pound out of Rain. As you can see in that kill feed, their flag is being pulled. Running car, you've got Tim or Rain blocking that bubble spawn, but with the 2 players still alive here in the base. And amazing shots from Stellar. Rain's going to get taken out of bubble.
That's a really hard fight to win. The carbine's so much more powerful than the pistol at that range, but those shots were stellar coming out from this guy. So pretty good momentum boost coming out for E6. Let's see if they're able to capitalize. That's 2 falling for the side of Liquid. Camo coming up here pretty shortly. Fuel Rod going to drop. Everyone in position for E6. This is perfect for them. Let's see if they're able to execute here.
Now, I like what Stellar is doing, moving up to the base, crouching when he gets in essentially position to where he could show up potentially on radar. He knows there's at least 1 player above him, but you do see players start to die on both teams, commonly with a beatdown there on Boo Boo Doo as well. Stellar's trying to get a kill, but wow, that was not the kind of coordinated push that you're going to want to see out of E6, especially down 2-0.
That's really worrisome because all Team Liquid did was sit in the base, wait for a pick, and then just charged out. If you're the side of E6, all you have to do is wait for them to get a little bit impatient, wait for them to push out of the base, hold the position, and make sure that you get the power-ups and make sure that you get the power weapons. And Team Liquid just completely punished them by that defensive strategy here. And it looks like Commonly does get spotted with the flag. He does have swords. Spectre getting some big kills. He picks up a triple kill. So let's see what's going on with E6 and see if they're able to finally get into the base and maybe get the flag out here. But there's only 5 minutes left and they haven't gotten a capture yet. So I'm a little bit worried for E6, especially because there's not any camo or Fuel Rod coming up anytime soon.
Oh, pretty good shots there from Kratos, picking up that 1v1 battle on Rain, and that might open up an opportunity. You've got Sparring, the last guy alive, trying to slow down this capture. I like what Boo Boo Doo Boo did, staying alive there and still getting the flag out. He's going to be able to rotate it all the way to pink side, but everyone from Team Liquid is back up. Commonly just now being taken out. It looks like there's not a whole lot of people in position, and that flag is going to go and be put in. We'll go ahead and take a look through Spectre's eyes here. He's trying to lock down top center. Several Team Liquid members still down at this point. I like what he's doing. They basically given up car side, but with several members here on the pink side, they're going to get another opportunity to push into the base.
Yeah, going back to how that cap happened, I don't think Spectre is going to be able to do anything with this flag because Commonly's camping in the base, but good play by Commonly. However, I just want to touch base on Kratos there. It looked like potentially it was a bad play, but people didn't realize that he was actually just sacrificing his life to go and get that flag capture, which is a really good thing. A lot of people think that they got to, you know, just stay alive in that instance, but if you're just a meat shield for your squad and if you're just taking on multiple people at the base so they have to allocate resources to going back, that's more than fine to secure the capture, especially when you haven't even gotten one in the game yet.
Now we've got Penguin here, pink side or in P2, trying to anchor this position. I like the shots that he puts on Kratos. Kratos doing a good job of not challenging, trying to just wait for his shields to come back. New camo, you're exactly correct. New camo is getting ready to spawn. Penguin almost with the shots to secure that victory, but delaying long enough for Commonly to grab this Fuel Rod. He does get the hit markers on that first shot. Knows that there are 3 players here pink side, but they're pretty much all weak. That's a double, maybe the triple kill, but no, Kratos is going to get taken out by Penguin.
This is it right here. Here comes the collapse. Everyone's going to be spawning in the bubble. Need to get this flag out immediately. Looks like he's going to bring this one pink side. Still is full shield, so they should have the intel. Also a guy under the base. That's a big kill coming out from Stellar. He actually got 2 picks during that entire time, but nice job from Commonly staying alive with this Fuel Rod. Another guy is under the base. That's 3 dead as Spartan picked up a double. They should have the numbers. Last guy's P2. Nice bait and switch coming out here from Spartan. That's the camo guy, but he has to reload. Nice job. I would just rotate here with the sword, maybe try to jump top center and cut off the angles towards the car side, or maybe even do the thrust side up from P1. But this is also a good play, because if they just slow play this one, they should be good. But he has to come back and make sure that he does kill Boo Boo Doo Boo, because Boo Boo Doo Boo is going to get the pull and tosses out bottom center. So heads up play from him, even though he does die. And E6 has to make sure that commonly can't get this return. It's up to the players that spawn car side.
And whether or not he's going to be able to grab any sword kills here, he's going for the return, not able to put that one in. Stellar will get a touch, so that's going to prevent it from being returned. Penguin drops as well. Spartan, it's close 1v1 top center. He should be waiting for help, but
Kratos, yeah, I mean, if I was Spartan, I would have probably bounced the nade off the ground there and then just lined up my shot for him to come out there, but he decided that he knew Kratos was going to push out, and Kratos says no. Some really nice shots, and that's another cap going in for E6, but that was pretty much big time play coming out from Kratos and also from Boo Boo Doo Boo, who, you know, had some mishaps in the beginning of the game, but they're really stepping it up now. And as you can see, Kratos is not losing any of his 1v1 fights. So if he's shooting well, then he's definitely a force, because he knows where to go and he knows how to, you know, put pressure on the enemy team. But, you know, sometimes his shot may be not on, but if his shot's on, he's just, you know, a monster.
Yeah, the momentum swing is absolutely in E6's favor now. Tying up this game with only 5 minutes left, so they put in 2 flag caps in the last 4 minutes here. Now Boo Boo Doo Boo with the sword, we've seen him be really effective with this weapon in the past, and we've talked about it time and time again, just how quickly you can run these flags when you have this weapon.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky play there, going for the no shield sword lunge, but that's not going to work out for him. However, that does add enough pressure for these guys to pick up the camo. While they're getting the camo, it looks like everyone on Team Liquid pushed over towards the car side and is running a flag. So if they're able to get this one, they should be able to get it halfway. Not really sure if they were able to, though, because the pressure's coming in heavily from pink side, and now Spartan's the only guy alive. That's Kratos with the camo. He's under the base, and now Spartan's doing everything he can. He just needs to get at least one pick to stop that. Rain, nice job getting that pick onto Stellar, is going to keep Spartan alive. So great job by Spartan, just running around in circles, making sure that he's doing everything that he can. Doesn't get that kill, but at least takes that player to no shields, and he's going to call him out for his teammates.
Yeah, Kratos doing a good job staying alive, distracting. I mean, Spartan was all over the place a moment ago. Back and forth, into the attic, into the base, pink side, and stays alive, with Kratos being able to finally take him out.
Ooh, dodges that nade as well, so still alive under the base. His camouflage does wear out, misses that jump, but it's actually good because he was still no shield, so probably ended up just falling anyway. But the good thing for Team Liquid is they've split up the spawn, so they're on car side and pink side, but 3 players dropping. E6 on top of the spawns already. It's up to Commonly and the rest of these guys. That's Spartan pushing over there to try to get the pull. Another player spawns at the base, but Commonly gets in there. Nice ground pound coming in from Stellar. Spartan picking up a kill. It's going to be up to him. Rain getting a kill as well, but that's going to be it. E6 takes this one 3-2 after being down 2-0, and I gotta give hats off to Kratos, because he really stepped it up towards the end. I remember checking the stats, and I don't know if you remember, Kyle, he only had 4 kills. Now he's ending with 20 overall, so really stepping it up towards the end and getting that pull over there. Boo Boo Doo Boo was big as well, so E6 coming out hot.
I mean, that was pretty surprising as well. I mean, we saw Liquid 3-0 yesterday against Team Envious. Comes out, takes an early 2-0 lead here against Enigma6, and they looked like they were just going to run away with it. Big props to Enigma6 to actually be able to bring that one back, and there's a good point on Kratos. Like, once we actually started going to his screen, we did not see him lose any 1v1s from that point on. Yeah,
he wasn't missing many shots, and like I was saying, the way that he plays, if he wins his 1v1, then all of a sudden he's already on the flank and opening up so much of the map and going for the flag and running that objective. So if his shot is on, then E6 is going to be really hard to beat. And like I was saying before, I really like how the maps are playing out for E6. I think this is a good opportunity for them to win 3-1 or 3-2. Even though yesterday Envy lost to Team Liquid and Eden Slayer, it wasn't looking too good for a lot of that game, and Eden Slayer is something that E6 is pretty solid at. So, you know, I think Plaza Strongholds too, that's probably going to go in Liquid's favor, but again, I think Stasis CTF could possibly go over to E6. We'll see how it goes, Kyle. We have no idea, but I do think that they did a good job on E6 getting these maps.
I'd say the veto process probably falls in favor of E6, but this is also like a completely different E6 than we were seeing from yesterday. They were definitely heated in the matches, having some issues internally as well, you know, trying to get set up in games, whatever's going on between them internally. I think they've got some of that worked out.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, is just putting that stuff behind you, and that's a really good sign for them. We're talking about how they're a very resilient team. We saw them go on a losing streak to start last season and then go on the hottest winning streak next to CLG, the new Optic squad. So they have it in them. Team Liquid, let's see if they're going to be able to bounce back. They had that massive comeback in Eden Slayer yesterday. Maybe that was just a little bit of a warm-up game for them, but they came out really hot, and then E6 countered. So that's the scary thing if you're Team Liquid right now.
Yeah, the E6 can be completely different depending on which team shows up that day. We've seen last season, you know, they beat CLG with of course, Hook on the team, but they also got 3-0'd by Allegiance in their early weeks as well. So it's so back and forth.
Yeah, they're definitely a hot or cold team. When they're hot, they go on, you know, a 9-map win streak, and then or 9-series win streak, and then when they're cold, they end up, you know, not even winning a game. So, like you said, which Enigma 6 is going to show up? We found that out today, but really, I think that now we've seen what E6 is going to do. Let's see what Liquid's going to do. Let's see if they're going to be able to counter. They showed that they're also a resilient team, not giving up too. So I'm sure that they're not really worried that much about that last loss, but this is going to be really important for them to take this so they don't go down 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, and this Team Liquid has a pretty good mindset for these games, and you can see that based on what they did yesterday. Against that Envy game, being down 15 kills or at the beginning, at least 11 kills at one point, and still being able to focus, get control of the weapons, play your game, and come out ahead in the end.
Yeah. So I think that based on what we saw in that first game, I think that E6 is going to it's going to be probably 50-45 in favor of Team Liquid because they know the importance of this game. They don't want to go down 2-0 in this series. I think if E6 takes this, it's going to be a 3-0 or 3-1. If Liquid wins this one, let's see what the momentum's going to be. It's a big mind game. This game's all about confidence. It's all about, you know, making sure that you're focused. And I'm really impressed with E6 so far. I really hope that they continue to play this way.
And just to think that Liquid had that big lead, 2-0 right off the start of the game.
Well, and that last flag was going in when it was 2-1 at the same time, and all they had to do was watch those spawns, and I think it was Boo Boo Doo Boo who charged in there, got that flag pulled out, and then it was, I think, Commonly with the sword top center, or someone with the sword top center was looking to drop down and get that return. Maybe it was Penguin, and that was a little bit of a misplay. As I was saying, the person that was that pink side and laying down the shots instead of going back and utilizing the sword, that's the type of thing that you need to go and jump top center, flank around the enemy base, go through the window, jump top center, and just collapse on people with the sword. You'll easily trade kills or get a little bit more, but you're expecting to fall back with the pistol and shoot people across the map. You're not utilizing the weapons that you have.
And it's always a risky play. Of course, with Clamor, you can get to different positions really easily, even from bottom center to top center. It's not like you have to run to car side of the base or pink side to actually walk up there. But at the very same time, if you're top center and you have that power position to drop down when it's almost consistently the opposing team is going to be nading that flag, trying to prevent that return. It's a big risk.
And you don't have to drop down and like stare at the ground and wiggle back and forth. Like you can at least drop down, have your pistol, look up, shoot the people out of scope or something like that, or see if they're even looking at you. But he looked over to the side. They weren't looking at him. Then he decided to drop down and try to get it and just try to secure the win. Again, he was just a little bit too late on the rotations and coming back and securing the capture, which is something that they can't afford to do in Stasis Flag if it does go to Game 4, because Stasis Flag is the most important map to come back and secure the capture on.
And we've already seen some pretty awesome Stasis Flag played out, and we know exactly how good this Team Liquid squad is on that map. Of course, they did tie against Envy, but they played from behind the entire first game, and then it was the second game that they really came out and showed what they could do.
Yeah, we know what they can do. They're a very good squad. It's possibly just a warm-up game for them. Again, they couldn't really get it going after they had that mishap with the flag return. E6 really punished them and was pretty much doing what Liquid was doing to E6 in that game. Going in there, getting slays as they're running the flag, and then getting the flag out and then securing the captures. Just because E6, you know, came back and secured the captures, that's why they were able to win compared to Team Liquid.
So, you know, you said 50-45. That's your prediction going in here for game number 2, and that's going to go over to Liquid?
I think so. The thing that E6 does really well, though, is that they really slow the game down, and they're really annoying. when it comes to that, they don't give up any picks, and if they do, they only give up 1 or 2, and then they stop it, and they have really good, talented pushes and coordinated pushes to go and take back blue base, because everyone knows in Eden Slayer, you want to try to hold blue base in security. So I do think that this is another good game type for both of these teams. Again, I just think that Team Liquid's going to win this one because they know that they can't fall down 2-0 in the series. We saw what they could do yesterday against Envy, but yeah, it's pretty much going to be a toss-up for these guys. I'm looking at Spartan or Penguin to really step it up and just go and have a big individual performance.
Yeah, and we saw there's a lot more power weapons involved here in the Eden Slayer as opposed to what is available on Truth, and that's where Symbolic can come into play. We've seen the end of that Eden Slayer game yesterday against Envious. They had 2 snipers and rockets. Like, that's ridiculous. That's such an amazing position to be in.
They had 2 snipers, but I don't think they ended up having the rockets. One of the weaknesses that they did have yesterday was not securing the rockets, but they did do a good job of controlling the sniper and then working with the sniper so they could keep their sniper guy alive. So today they're going to have to be focused on getting the rockets in the beginning of the game, and then they didn't have the best pushes against Envy, as you were seeing in the interview with Spartan yesterday. He said Envy punished him 2 or 3 times. Maybe E6 was able to watch that game yesterday and see what was happening in the beginning. You could see Spartan goes right for the sniper to start the game, things like that. Obviously, you know, everyone goes for the sniper in the beginning of that game when you spawn blue, but maybe you nade the sniper back if you're E6. There's a couple little things that you could do to throw people off in the beginning of the game, and we saw how important the beginning of the games were previously in the CTF Truth when people make a little bit of misplays like Kratos with the camo and stuff like that. That's why he had 4 kills to start that off, because it's just hard to get going. You know, you get on this spawn cycle and then you start getting the short end of the stick, and next thing you know, you're 4-10 or 4-12, and you have to make this amazing run to even go like 20-18 or something.
And with that being said as well, just the fact that they were able to rotate the weapons, Team Liquid, so well, even considering the fact that Pistola had 6 to 8 rocket kills that game, even like a 2-for-1 at one point of 2 players running up towards Nest. So, like, it's pretty impressive. The more and more I think about it, just considering that lead, the weapon advantages, and this is a consistent theme that we're seeing out of Team Envious, just their ability to build up these big leads, but not able to maintain that momentum. And that's going to be in the individual game as well as an entire series, because Envy was also up 2-0 on Enigma6 and had the reverse sweep.
Well, it's important for Alumni to keep these guys, you know, cool, calm, and collected. But going back to talking about Team Liquid going up against E6, one of the things that Team Liquid did really well in Eden Slayer yesterday against Envy was that once they got control, they were able to get kills in a pretty timely fashion. They were able to close the gap a lot quicker than I thought. You know, all of a sudden it went from a 15-kill game to a 5-kill game. Next thing we know, it's tied. Next thing you know, they're winning by 2 or 3. So they were able to close the gap in a matter of, 2 or 3 minutes. So E6, if they're going to be hiding, it's going to be up for Team Liquid if they get control to kind of sniff these guys out, find where they like to camp out, and then get those kills, collapse, and then find out where the spawns are going to be.
And you always have to keep in the back of your mind, like, what team you are playing against. When you're going up to play against this E6 squad, if you're E6 playing against Team Liquid, there's a lot of players that just crouch around the map all over the place. So you need to be checking every single nook and cranny, every corner you can find to see who's hiding there, because there's going to be a Kratos, a Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo, or a Spartan. Somebody is going to be over there.
It's funny because how much E6 was crouching yesterday, and we could just see where their mindset was after not being necessarily as warmed up as they should have, forfeiting the first game to Optic Gaming. And they were just crouching around the map everywhere because they weren't feeling very confident. You even saw Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo in the beginning of the game going over to Blue Cave in that Coliseum game and just sitting there waiting for someone to come to him so he could get the first shot and use his radar, and Frosty even knew that he was there. So, E6, they're definitely known for this type of thing. They're not scared to slow it down, but they slowed it down so badly yesterday that people on the forums were talking if they even threw the game, but that's not even feasible. That's not even a thought that these guys are having. They want to win, as you can see today. They're not playing around. It was just that they were really playing conservative, and the Optic Gaming guys came out extremely hot. And like I said, it's up to Liquid to sniff these guys out if they do have the lead, or if they do have the setup, the prime setup over there at Blue Base, and then going in and just trying to get the spawns after that. You know, if you leave a spot, you have to memorize that you left that spot open.
And I think it was more the strategy that they had planned to go up against Enigma6, or Enigma6 going up against Optic Gaming there, as opposed to anything else. But going ahead and taking a look back here at this game, it is starting out. You've got Team Liquid pushing out, trying to contest these rockets a little bit more, but it looks like Penguin's not going to have all that much help quite yet, but delays long enough for Hammy to come in, or commonly there to come in through the attic, or excuse me, through the attic there and actually steal those rockets.
That was a really nice flank coming out from Bubudubu. Everybody on the side of Team Liquid was committed outside towards getting those rockets, and I thought they were going to walk away with the rockets and get a nice little lead here, but Bubudubu flanked around blue side, ends up even getting the sniper at the same time. So nice little flank coming out from him, and now Suspector's job is just to hold this area and watch outside so Bubudubu can comfortably snipe. He has the SMG in his back pocket, so he can just play off the radar, sitting there using the little holes in the railing to try to get some sort of intel. Needs to walk up a little bit so he doesn't get spotted himself, and this is a pretty good situation for these guys to be in. All they need to do is let Bubudubu sit there and pick off people. So let's run through these guys and see where Kratos is holding down security, so that's really good. And there's Bubudubu with the sniper. So ideal setup coming out from the side of E6. They just need to play really patient here in Team Liquid. If you're Team Liquid, make sure that you don't give up any dumb deaths. So looks like they're going to give Kratos the shotgun over there. So that means that Bubudubu, his flank, came from the security side. He went right for that shotgun, went around, and then killed the sniper guy, which was most likely Spartan, and then just flanked them. So it looks like Team Liquid didn't allocate any resources towards the security side of the map, and this is why Bubudubu has this powerful position.
Yeah, we were just talking about before this game, when you have to know against the team you're matching up against, and both of these teams are not afraid to crouch in a corner, and I really like that play out of Bubudubu. Shotgun sniper, although on some maps could be really effective, it is not necessarily the best combination. You want to have both of those weapons in action at all times if possible, and not have to have one player just switch back and forth.
Well, here's the rockets. They're dropping, and it looks like everybody from Team Liquid is making the rotation over there. I feel like Bubudubu, yeah, his job is to be watching those rockets, but that's a pretty hard snipe to hit, and he needs to be watching to make sure that no one's coming from the red nest area. So I'm glad that he ends up dropping and getting a little bit better of an angle here. There it is. Nice shot onto Spartan. Gets the pick. Now that should be able to secure the rockets there for E6. Kratos flying in with the battle rifle, picking off Rain as well, and they're slowly just going to be able to build on this lead, but need to make sure that you're watching spawns at the same time and making sure that they're not coming over towards security side, but you can see the player outlines, and that's not the case.
And you can see in the player feed there as well, commonly he's got the rockets, but on top of that, it looks like it was that Kratos running around with those rockets, Stellar running around with those new rockets as well. So a lot of power weapons here on this map. Stellar in the player kill feed there does grab another kill. Team Liquid is trying to play this one relatively as slowly as possible, avoid giving up any of these deaths, and not let a big lead be built like they had to go through and experienced yesterday.
Well, we know that they struggled with taking back setups, but they probably learned a little bit yesterday from their game with Envy on what setups actually were breakable and which ones weren't. But the good thing for E6 is they have so much sniper ammo. Bubudubu still has 7 shots. Stellar even has 4 rockets left because he was able to pick up the previous rockets. And Stellar and Bubudubu haven't even died yet, so we can take a look at the stats and see what's going on. These guys haven't even gotten weak, besides right there, Bubudubu finally taking in no shields, but rips Rain's face off at the same time. So these guys playing it very smart with the weapons, and that's what this game type, that's what this whole game of Halo 5 and Halo in general is all about.
And looks like E6 does have a pretty good idea of where all of Team Liquid is, although they cannot see the same player outlines that we do. They know based on where the rest of E6 is, they can pretty much cut off angles and know exactly where Team Liquid will be coming from.
Bubudubu most likely going to take that little angle there behind the wall, if he doesn't die, to possibly snipe the rockets. So let's see if he goes into the spot. He's going to probably go over here and maybe crouch. No, he's going to jump over and get aggressive to get a little bit of a better angle, but I feel like he could have utilized that little railing to snipe in between. Nice shot onto Rain. That's a killing spree coming out from Bubudubu. Multiple players for Liquid still trying to grab those rockets, but that's Stellar flying in with his own pair of rockets still and picking up a killing spree. He finally gets taken out from Spartan, and those rockets are still sitting there, so Team Liquid, a good opportunity to pick these up and possibly come back. They also get some pretty generous spawns coming in from the security side, but Bubudubu getting a nice no-scope onto Rain. He's going to have to hit this one on Penguin as well, because a nice nade coming in, but Bubudubu dodges it. He also has help coming in from the security side, and there it is coming from Penguin. So nice job finally breaking the setup, Kyle, and when it's all said and done, they're only down 4 kills.
That was a great job by Team Liquid, delaying as long as possible, just setting up around those rockets. Even though though, Bubu is doing a pretty good job of sniping. I would have liked to see him go to top catwalk and snipe through the stairs. We've seen that from Eco. We saw Frosty do, what was it, triple kill out of it? Completely ridiculous play. He did hit one headshot, but that was really the only impact that he had over those last 30 seconds.
Well, it was a really close game, and then all of a sudden E6 gets a couple of picks, and now Penguin doesn't know what to do with the sniper. All three of his teammates have died, and even Rain ends up dying twice. So this is a little bit of an awkward situation, and that was their opportunity to capitalize on it. But E6 not getting flustered at all, and they're also in control. As you can see, they're just trading a bunch of weapons over here outside towards Blue Bend, but Team Liquid got a nice little spawn here. Good job from Suspector getting that kill onto Rain, switches over to his pistol. Spartan says no, but Kratos also rotated the sniper at the same time. So if Kratos can get a couple of picks here, they don't even have to rotate. They could just sit back and control red base, especially with rockets coming up in 30 seconds. So Kratos a little bit delayed there on the trigger finger. He needs to rotate out here. Rockets are coming up. Everyone's going to be coming Blue Bend, as you can see in the player outlines. Kratos, nice shot through his teammate. He picks off commonly through Suspector's armpit. There's another player, Spartan. Everybody from Team Liquid going out towards the Blue Bend. So Kratos in perfect position if he just lines up on this fan area to help pick them off as they go for the rockets.
And he does only have 2 shots left in this sniper, but puts the first one to good use. Hits a no-scope body shot to take the player no shields. He's not going to have any other support here from the rest of his team, so they might have to give these rockets up.
Yeah, good plays, though, coming out from Kratos. I mean, he did so much damage. You could see I also need the snipe back at the same time. That one's going to go towards mid-bridge, but Kratos hit a bunch of shots with his pistol, hit a body shot with his snipe, also got a frag grenade, so he laid down a lot of damage, just none of his teammates in the vicinity to help pick him off. But that's the rocket guy, I believe, Rain getting taken out by the last bullet in Kratos' sniper, so this guy isn't missing.
And that was a pretty good headshot, because I'm pretty sure that player had just thrusted as well. Now, the other sniper is in the hands of Bubu, yet to use any of this ammo, but the shotgun over in the hands of Liquid as well. Bubu does miss the first one, hits the second body shot, does grab an assist there. And look at this kid's stats, 5, 6, and 1. More assists than kills, and a +4 ratio at this point.
That's great. I mean, it's a 12-kill game, and when you combine his assists and kills with his deaths, it's pretty much Bubu being the big difference maker here. Who else is doing pretty well for these guys? Stellar 10-3. So big time game coming out from Bubu and Stellar. This is what I kind of wanted to see coming from Penguin and Spartan. Really good individual performances, but they're just really slow playing this and just not giving Liquid much to work with.
Ooh, and you see some hit markers show up there, so that sniper hit somebody.
Penguin getting a nice triple kill. He got 2 shotgun kills, then comes in and clears these guys out. So Penguin with the big plays coming from Liquid, trying to bring these guys back. And we saw yesterday against Envy, we know that these guys can come back, especially on Slayer Eden. So this is their opportunity again, commonly hiding around the corner. People won't be able to see him, but they're trying to chuck nades and get some sort of hit markers. Spartan a little bit vulnerable here. He could be caught out in the open if they do shoot the box, but he's just trying to work with commonly to get those rockets, but they finally do get the hit markers. There's support coming in from Spartan with the light rifle. Commonly's got to be careful he doesn't get picked off from the player charging around the SMG. That's Bubu. So here comes the push out for the rockets for E6. More help has to come in from Liquid. There's the help from the red fan area, and Spartan's going to be able to get these rockets. Let's see how aggressive he plays with them.
And looks like obviously E6 knows that rocket has been picked up, but Penguin with a sniper, they're not expecting that. That's going to be 2 members down for E6. Spartan really needs to stay alive here. No shields. That's going to get cleaned up for him. Look at the score of this game. It's like we're watching what happened yesterday.
Good spawns coming out from E6. They're not going to know that Suspector's there, so they need to slow play this and crouch around the corner. Let's see what he's doing. Oh no, he's right behind him. He's going to assassinate him. He sees him on the radar though. Oh, he misses it. Oh my goodness. Rain also getting, and then he gets shotguns. So Suspector misses the back smack on the rocket guy. That was a huge opportunity, and now Liquid can collapse. Stellar does spawn and get a big kill onto Rain. Oh no, wow. That's unfortunate timing coming out from Spartan, but he does get that rocket. Now Spartan getting a little bit aggressive. Hits another rocket on the guy that's coming out from Red Bridge. His teammate's not going to challenge though, and then Suspector hits him with a good nade. So whoever was crouching over there, that was Penguin. Needs to play a little bit more aggressive and work with his boy Spartan to try to get the kill on the no shields guy and then collapse on the guys that are over at Red Nest. So missed opportunity coming out from these guys, but Rain doing a nice job now working with Penguin. Penguin has to rotate and make sure that these guys from E6 don't push into the security side, because if they do, they're going to have good map positioning to try to take over blue. So Rain over here again, still working with Penguin, who has that shotgun. Splinter Nade's going to take his teammate Penguin to no shields though, but now it's only a 1-kill game.
And it looks like the new sniper was picked up. We'll go ahead and try to keep an eye on that one as well. All tied up right now, and E6 not in that great of positions. You can see Penguin or Zane there working on a flank. Rain's trying to put down as many shots as possible. They don't see him. He does dodge that splinter nade. Good thrust by him. Penguin picking up yet another kill. They know there's one more player here outside. Kratos doing all he can to escape, but there's just too many members of Team Liquid.
Yeah, it's Penguin picking up all these kills at the same time, too, working with Rain, using his shotgun to his advantage. Remember that he got that triple kill and charged over there towards the red base to kill Kratos, and then E6 sort of started to fall apart here. There's only 2 minutes left. This game's been pretty slow paced. It's definitely going to go to time. I would be really surprised if it ended up going to 50. Look how much damage that SMG does when you zoom in. Penguin doesn't get the kill with the grenade. Only a 2-kill game. Everyone from Team Liquid just running over towards blue base. It's going to be up to Kratos to try to pick these guys off. Doesn't have any grenades. No utility coming out from the side of E6 either. So nice job by Team Liquid to go over there into the security area, and also Spartan with the shotgun as well. So Rocket Guy gets taken out. Let's see what E6 is going to do to collapse on these guys. They're all stuck over there in the zigzag area. Nice nades coming in from Penguin. That's got to be enough though. Suspector getting the kill with the rockets. Nice little ground pound, but that's not going to do any work either. So nice job trading kills here. Team Liquid walks away with the rockets, so that's good for them.
Ooh, Spartan using that rocket, but commonly picks up the kill on Kratos. He does have one left. He knows there's a player here, and I don't like that out of Spartan. You could barely see him show up on the radar. He's probably getting some callouts too, and he had a last rocket, so that's rocket sniper down.
Yeah, like my heart just broke when I see the combo just laying there, and then Boo Boo Doobie's going to run away with that one, but it's only a 4-kill game. 1 minute left on the clock. Remember I said E6 likes to slow this down a lot. They're used to these type of games. Stellar getting a kill there. It's only 3 kills now. Penguin, he's getting aggressive with these rockets. The player shows up on his radar. He's going to switch over to his pistol. That's Boo Boo Doobie, no shields. That guy has to die. Whoever's behind him should have turned around and got that pick, but that player on his team did have sniper. 4 kills, 30 seconds left for E6. There's another player right there. Nice job by Penguin. He's definitely going big this game. I was saying how him and Spartan really needed to step it up, and as we can see from the stats, 17, 10, and 9 for Zane.
And he does put that rocket. He's out of ammo here currently. There's several members of E6. They're trying to push over to security. Boo Boo Doobie with the shotgun knows there's a player hiding there, but Spartan with the sniper rifle does pick off that kill as well. Only 3 left, but 8 seconds left in this game. All Team Liquid does is need to hide here, and they're going to take away and tie this series up 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, they did it again. They made the comeback that they needed to. E6 had it in the bag. Then Penguin charges over there with the shotgun. 17 kills, 11 assists, and 10 deaths. That's an insane stat line coming out from him. And then Suspector 9 and 15, Kratos 9 and 15. So we saw Stellar and Boo Boo Doobie having some pretty strong performances, but combined Kratos and Suspector going -12 and only losing by 4 kills. They're going to have to come back here strong. I believe the next game type is going to be Strongholds on Plaza.
And Stellar having those kind of numbers, but yet losing by that much, that's going to be hard for him. I know that he's essentially the or the odd one out on the team if you've been following along on the forums and keeping up with all the drama. So it's awesome to see that he is still coming out here and performing.
Yeah, just as we were expecting Team Liquid to come back, they knew that they had to win that game, and that's where the desperation, sank in. I think if Penguin wasn't able to get that triple kill, this series is over at that point. Enigma6 could have went up 2-0, and then they would have just probably pulled away on Stasis Flag, in my opinion. But this is a brand new series now, moving to a best-of-3 because this one's tied up 1-1, and this is the swing game coming up here on the Strongholds game type.
And even though this is week 1, that's also Enigma6's first win of the Pro League fall season, and that is Team Liquid's first loss as well. So a lot of action coming in as these two teams battle it out head-to-head. Game number 3 is going to be Plaza's Strongholds. Tom, you said you gave this one to Liquid earlier. How, after watching what just played out in these first 2 games, is that still where your head's at?
I think that Liquid is going to probably walk away with the series after winning that game. It's definitely going to be a close one. I think that E6 is still playing really well. It's interesting to see both of these teams blow some leads there. We saw in the first game, Team Liquid was up 2-0 on Truth CTF, and then we saw a nice little 10-kill, 11-kill lead coming out from E6, and they faltered as well. So big-time plays coming out from a lot of players on these guys' squads, and it's definitely intense. Overall, though, I think based on these 2 games, it's safe to say that the performance from E6 yesterday was definitely a fluke because we can see that they're coming out with some high-quality Halo.
Yeah, and that's going up against Team Liquid as well, who as we can see, really is starting to look like they may end up at at the end of this season as a top 4 contender. So this one, you know, we talked about Kratos before, but I am still on the Team Liquid hype train right now. I'd like to start things off once again with Spartan, as I'm really curious to see how, if he, or whether or not he's going to be able to actually take over this game. So
interesting enough, he gets a pretty, open area towards the nest, an open route towards the nest. He jumped up to the side to make sure that, I'm not sure why he's leaving this area. He definitely could have captured the nest. So interesting that he wants to drop down and prioritizes the kill more, and doesn't he end up even getting the kill. So his teammate is going to be able to capture nest behind him, but at the same time, I don't think that that was the right play coming out from Spartan. He could have accomplished more just by sitting back and possibly sitting S4.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I think, if anything, that was E6. That player, I didn't even catch who it was, but that was a great job bouncing back and forth on that wall.
Yeah, that was Kratos.
And, maybe not as impressive in an older Halo because you've got radar on, but still, nonetheless, predicting his movements, knowing the thrust action, and staying alive, delaying or taking Spartan out of the game for that period of time.
Yeah, and commonly forced to go for the yards so they don't get triple cap. This is the ideal setup for any team here in this game type. Want to control the nest, you want to control the bottom mid, trap the other team over towards the yard. It's so hard to make a push here because all the angles and the pathways that you can take in this game type are very narrow, so you can just really get filtered in there, and if they know which side that you're going to push on, they don't have to even necessarily watch the rest of the map. So this is one of those game types, Strongholds just in general, against high quality teams like this in the Pro League, once you lose that initial setup, it's not uncommon for people to get 40, 50, 60, 70 points. Sometimes we even see teams go on a 100-0 run.
And as you can see, the biggest comeback we've seen in the Pro League was that 60-point comeback of Allegiance over Evil Geniuses in the summer season. Now we do have bottom mid hill starting to go over to Liquid. Boobadooboo tries to contest that for as long as possible, but he's going to be taken out. That's going to reset the bottom mid hill. Control still in E6's favor.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Team Liquid's strategy is going to be for taking this one back. You have pretty much 3 options. You can go for a bottom middle push coming from down below, or you could potentially go over there towards this area, which is the loop, and it's really hard to filter towards the loop because, again, it's just a very narrow angle. You have to walk up there towards the nest, so it looks like they're electing to go down towards bottom middle. That's Rain. Does he have a teammate there to contest this one? Yeah, he does. So that's Spartan finally, and that's 35 points that E6 was able to get. Camo's coming up as well. That looks like Commonly was able to pick this one, even jukes out Kratos a little bit. However, Suspector gets the kill from across the map. Now 2 players capturing bottom mid for E6. That's going to be Spartan rotating over there towards the nest area. There goes E6 getting that. They have to get Spartan out of the nest. Looks like Spartan went to S4 instead, so nice heads-up play coming from Spartan, not playing predictable, and it looks like Boobadooboo is going to be forced to go over towards Yard because of the fact that Team Liquid captured bottom middle, and now Spartan finally making his way over towards nest. So that was just a nice play by everybody coming out from Team Liquid, being aware of where everybody was positionally on the side of E6 and just taking advantage of that.
And Boobadooboo picking up a quick double kill there. Kind of talking about what Spartan just did. I really like that play, just running away, delaying long enough, being a distraction, and having his team come and help him. He still picks up kill off of that, and ultimately secures nest, or helps secure nest for his team.
Yeah, and now it looks like they're shifting over towards the nest area on the side of E6, so this is a good sign for them because 3 players did just die on the side of Team Liquid, and now they're going to be forced to go over towards the yard. So as that's happening, it looks like E6 is obviously going to capture bottom middle. And now this is a good play coming out from Boobadooboo. You see a lot of teams overextend here. Oh, what a stick off the wall. Are you kidding me, Boobadooboo? Hail Mary across the map. But that's exactly what you want to do in this type of game type. You don't have to get aggressive until you get the numbers. And unfortunately, Penguin gets a kill onto Kratos. And that's going to open up the rest of the map for Team Liquid. Stellar, it's going to be up to him to lock this down over there towards S4. Watch out for that barrel, bro. Those things are deadly. Doesn't even contest bottom middle, decides that he just wants to wait over here and just hold down that nest area. Can't even shoot the barrel because he knows that that will give up his position at the same time. Nice splitter grenade's going to force Penguin over there towards the light rifle to be no shields. Let's see if he's able to do that with the shotgun. He is able to get the kill. Team Nade is going to take him out, though. That's pretty frustrating if you're Penguin because you've been doing work with that shotgun. Camo coming up here pretty soon. This is a pretty good momentum swing here if Team Liquid's able to get it. They are going to lose the bottom center area at the same time. Rain trying to take out Stellar. Stellar with the nice play, not getting aggressive on there, knowing that the player had the shotgun. Possible ninja coming out from Commonly. I can't believe that Boo Boo Doo Gets the trade there. It looks like Commonly almost gave him the dirty, but Camo is up. That's going to be Stellar picking that one up at 32. Keep in mind, that'll be 2 minutes from now, so 5:32. And Boo Boo Doo, we know how sneaky he is with the camouflage, especially in this game type. We saw him sit there bottom middle contesting while 3 players were in front of him last season. So it's definitely a good player to have the camouflage in his hands on the side of E6. Now Liquid, they're only going to have probably 3 pushes in order to come back and take this Plaza Stronghold setup that E6 is doing so well so far.
And you can see how the meta of this game has developed, and essentially both teams are always doing the similar strategy, always going top gold, always going onto Hotel, S4, even in front of Light Rifle as well. Now this new camo here is in the hands of Stellar, not you know, just rotating around the map. He doesn't really need to do much since his team still holds that control and still racking up the time here. Now, Rain is trying to contest Nest area, but he's all by himself against 2 members.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, who put that railing there?
Whose idea was that?
Whose idea was that? Oh my goodness, it's like when you trip over the curb and it's just like, who put that curb there? Seriously, I never knew that was even possible.
Stellar, whose man's is this? Going and just sticking himself in the face.
I don't know, but that was a crazy turn of events, but it doesn't even look like Liquid's able to capitalize on that. And there's not a lot of slays going on in this game type. You can just see that both of these teams really play this game type fairly well, especially E6 when it comes to controlling their setups, never even getting aggressive on the yard when they don't have to, which is what I love to see so many times. Again, players like to overextend, whether that's Empire or Plaza, and they try to go for that triple cap and get greedy when really they only need 7 more points, and everybody on the side of Team Liquid has to desperate it and push out and get into the stronghold, and then you just chuck your grenades or get the height advantage. And I don't think it's going to happen because the time is running out fairly quickly. 96, 97. Here comes the final push. All Kratos has to do is contest and stay in the hill. That should be enough time. I don't think they're going to be able to do so. The contestant's still coming in. That's going to be E6 going up 2-1 in the series.
And let's take a look at some of the kills here. E6 really able to shut Team Liquid down on this one, and a lot different than the 100-95 that we were previously looking at. And taking a look at these stats, Spectre doing great work, 14 kills, Stellar 12 kills. Pretty even captures across the board, but kind of stands out as Stellar secures as well, so definitely staying very objective oriented.
Yeah, what this tells me is that E6 is really strong at holding setups, especially in strongholds, and maybe it's just their strongholds Plaza is really strong, but it tells me that Team Liquid, their weakness is taking back setups. We saw them yesterday against Envy in that Slayer Eden game really struggle, and that was a really nice stick. That opens up the map for E6 a lot, but pretty much what happens is Team Liquid, they struggle to take back setups, and we saw it there, 100-25. They're really good when they have control, but they really need to work on counter strategies.
And, you know, speaking of that stick that Stellar had, or both of the sticks, the first one, and no, he does not have glass walls on. He cannot see that player outline. That was just a perfectly timed grenade based on wondering where the players are and just expecting somebody to come out of that flowers area. The second stick, of course, just a little bit of a hiccup when you try to throw a nade and decide to jump at the exact same time. A lot of players just don't know what's all on the ceiling of a map, and just so happened that there was a big pipe or something there that just put it right back in his face.
Yeah, those freaking raptors, man, or rafters, whatever you want to call them. But overall, E6, they're looking really good today. This is what I wanted to see coming from these guys. Team Liquid, I'm not sure if they're playing as good as they were against Envy. I don't think they're shooting as well, and their decision making isn't as clear as it was yesterday. They're not running around the map and being as decisive as they should have been. So let's see what happens on Stasis CTF. Again, that, you know, keep in mind, Envy lost Stasis CTF in order to lose 3-0 yesterday to Team Liquid. They even replayed this, so they've recently, you know, had this. They probably even discussed what they need to do a little bit better on this game type. Yesterday, what we saw coming from these guys is they weren't very good at getting the flag out of the base when they had the weapons, so they need to capitalize on these opportunities when they get the rockets in Overshield today.
This is going to be a real test here for Team Liquid. They need to be able to come back from a disadvantage, send this series to a Game 5, and it's going to be a real, you know, testament to exactly how well this team is going to be able to perform over the course of the entire season, because I really want to see how they fall in a Game 5.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Again, this is an advantage over to Liquid because of the color that they are as well, so they should be able to walk away with this one. But Bubudubu picking up a big double kill to start this game. That should go advantage over to E6. Penguin getting one as well, but these rockets not able to be picked up yet because of the amount of pressure coming out from the side of E6. Spartan's going to drop, and it looks like the flag's already being pulled by Bubudubu. Nice job tossing that one out right before he dies too. So let's see if they're able to get this one any bit further and run a little bit of a choo-choo train.
And looks like Rain will pick up one of those kills. You've got Enigma6 really heavily overweighing the Hydra Launcher side of this map. You've got the Rocket player trying to lay down some cover support for the flag to be run. Penguin not able to grab the kill on Bubudubu. That's going to allow him to grab the flag once again, and he's got an escort here in Stellar running away with him, including having those rockets.
This is exactly what you want to do. Whenever you get the rockets, you just go and run back with the flag. Again, Stasis CTF, one of the most important game types to come back with your flag guy because it's so open where that flag area is. And nice job from Stellar getting the rocket kill, switching over, killing the player with the DMR on his side of the map, making sure that the side of Liquid doesn't come back and try to get a counter capture. And that really comes down to Bubudubu again picking up another kill, but picking up that double kill to start that game. And that's a little bit worrisome from Team Liquid because that goes to show that E6, when they get the rockets, they know exactly what to do with those. So got to make sure that you got to get those rockets out of Stellar's hands next time.
And this is commonly doing exactly what we saw from him yesterday. He was always on the flank, always pushing into Envious' base, doing exactly what he's doing now here against the Enigma6, constantly pulling those flags, being a huge distraction for his team.
Yeah, and he runs the flag pretty much the same way every single time, so that's something to be aware of as well. He pushes over there and runs that towards the left side, but he's not going to be able to do so because Bubudubu's sitting there waiting. And this is a little interesting spot for Commonly because there's so much going on. The flag on his end is being pulled and ran towards the base. Rockets are coming up and his teammates just died with them. Overshield's coming up and he elects to just run out and toss the flag. So let's see if he's able to do anything because he's really the biggest asset so far for Team Liquid based on his positioning on the map, and maybe he'll be able to distract enough for his teammates to get the return.
Oh, and is that flag going to be returned? We'll see here in a second, and it just goes back as well. Blue team flag still out. Team Liquid trying their best to focus on this return. You do have members of Enigma6 dropping left and right, but a battle going on bottom center. Suspector misses his melee. Spartan picks up a reversal, and this is exactly what they needed to try and stop that, but no, not quite enough, and that first flag's going to go in.
No, it would have been a second flag that one.
Oh, that's right, second flag.
But that was just a nice job by Spartan running around and staying alive. You can see he's really stepped up his map movement, and that's one of the things that's his strong suit. Has so many hours put into this game, and he just knows exactly what to do. And when I talk about map movement, that goes hand in hand with being decisive and know exactly what you want to do. So Spartan stepping it up here, you can start to see that he's really feeling it and starting to get warmed up, switching weapons pretty quickly. He's going to grab that shotgun, and that's going to be a flag capture going in for Team Liquid, mainly because of the amount of damage and distraction that is coming out from Spartan.
And it was really amazing to see exactly how one little play can change the outcome of, a flag run. Essentially, you had Spartan win a 1v1 battle against Suspector while at a disadvantage, then picked up another 1v1 battle and got the new shotgun. Now, if he was able to pick up that kill, that would have been something. Shotgun not doing just barely not enough damage to save his life there, and that's now going to create an opportunity for Bubudubu to run this across shotgun side.
It's going to be hard for Bubudubu to capture this one. Fortunately for him, Suspector dies to Penguin, and the rest of his teammates are spawning over here, so good route coming out from Bubudubu. His flag has been pulled, so it has to get returned before he can go in. Also, keep in mind, rockets dropping there in 5 seconds. You do have the overshield, which drops right after that, so Bubudubu most likely going to come back, get these rockets. It looks like he's going to go for the flag instead. His teammates are all over it, so nice communication coming out from these guys. They're going to have to utilize this rockets to get the overshield at the same time.
And Bubudubu is trying to help his teammates focus on this return. Looks like Stellar's going to be able to get the rockets, pick up a few kills, and now grab that new overshield. This is perfect position for E6 to actually close out the series as well. They have that second flag cap in, 2-1. They got Bubudubu in Team Liquid's base with the rockets. And I think that nade blew up the Team Liquid nade, or else that might have even killed that player.
Oh my, that's 3 dead coming out for the side of Team Liquid. Bubudubu in perfect position to get this pull. He also has a lot of grenades, does hit someone with a hit marker in that grenade too, but he's not able to get the flag out as far far as he would have liked, and he also had the shotgun. So nice job by Spartan picking up that kill. He's going to have to get this kill onto Kratos sooner than later. Elects to drop down for the return instead, so the good heads-up play, making sure that Kratos can't go in and get the touch. Kratos still crouching below, not even appearing on the radar the entire time. Looks like he's finally going to elect to play on the radar. He is on the same level as him too, so got to be heads up if you're Spartan here. This is a big win if he can get it, because Kratos had a couple of shots on him, commonly getting a kill onto Bubudubu at the same time. If they can get the picks, they should be able to push into the base. That's 2 dead there. That's 3 dead, commonly coming up pretty big. Where's Spartan going to go? He has to get this kill and choke the spawns and communicate where to run the flag there for Commonly. So nice job from Commonly to run the flag the correct way. They need to slow play this though, because there are no shields.
And I like what Spartan's doing right now. He's trying to contest top center, but he's not going to have any help. Still some time before the new overshield's going to come up. He is going to try to cut off these angles at shotgun side. That would have been a big kill if you were able to pick that up on Bubudubu. Unfortunately, not able to do so. Decides to just kind of reset right here. Needs to go contest Hydra Launcher's side, as there is that player trying to run it.
Ooh.
Suspector with the shotgun kill. And wow, with how close that ground pound is, that could have gone either way.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting Spartan to go for the ground pound there, but wasn't expecting Suspector to have the shotgun. Meanwhile, Bubudubu getting this flagpole, Rockets and Overshield coming up at the same time. So if they're not able to get this cap, Team Liquid should be able to have a pretty easy counter. However, if E6 does put this one in, you can see they're up 2-1 in the series and 2-1 in this game. This is going to be the series going over to E6 if they can put this one in. So Kratos doing everything that he can. The flag does get pulled still. They need to get the return over there on the side of E6, but Overshield's coming up, so they're not sure if they want to go for that return or go for the overshield. Looks like that's going to be Stellar getting the overshield and going for the return. So that overshield is up pretty early, probably picked up around 45 or 46 area, but the plasma rifle, that's something that melts the overshield pretty quickly. And you can see it just does so much damage to the shields, but it doesn't do much once you actually get the shields popped. So you need to switch over to your pistol there, and the assault rifle is going to go over to E6.
Now, we've still got plenty of time left in this game. Over 5 minutes left in regulation. As long as Team Liquid's able to put one flag capture in, they can still send this into overtime. And this is a team that's very comfortable and familiar being in this position, as we saw it from them yesterday already.
Yeah, this one not over, and as you saw, when Spartan gets it going, that creates momentum for the rest of the team. So let's see who's going to step up big, if it's going to be Commonly going for the objective, or maybe Spartan or Penguin getting a slay, or maybe it's Rain with a big flank. So someone on Team Liquid's going to have to step up. Maybe it's a Ninja, and it's not. Stellar says no, but that's the type of plays that need to come out from the side of Team Liquid, because E6 is just ruthless in pushing into the base. They smell blood, only one cap away from winning this series.
Now all 4 members of Team Liquid were just down. You got Penguin coming up off of spawn on the shotgun side. Great grenade. Throws a second one. Good thrust here by Kratos. Tries to delay as long as possible. Not going to be enough to stay alive.
Penguin has to stop sprinting there, which he did because his shields were going down. He wishes that he could probably just sprint and get that flagpole immediately, but fortunately for him, his shot is on at the same time. However, Bubudubu does come around with the flank. I believe that he spawned in that area, so let's see if they're able to get this return. Commonly gets him with the nade. The flag is pulled out for both teams. Nice nade coming out from Suspector. Here comes the rest of Liquid over here, and this is an advantage over towards E6. So let's see if E6 is able to finish this one off. They do have the rockets. Keep in mind, Overshield coming in the next 10 seconds. Good heads-up play coming out from Spartan, and then another heads-up play coming out from Penguin, making sure he gets the trade. Nice melee coming out from Bubudubu. I thought maybe Rain had to shoot another shot, but it looks like that player was weak at the same time.
And
so
Overshield here is up now as well. One of the first times Team Liquid's actually going to be able to grab it. Spartan with a shotgun Overshield. He's happy right now. Picks up a quick double kill. Now Rain knows this is an opportunity for him to start collapsing in on the base. Go.
Yep, Rain going in there. Spartan coming in from the other side. Let's see if he's able to hit the ground pound. Takes him down to no shields. Ooh, Commonly says, I'm going to just shoot the rocket and get it over with. So Commonly not allowing his teammate to embarrass the other player on E6. But unfortunately for the side of Liquid, they do pick up the rockets and they do pick up the overshield, and they're not able to even get the flag return. So this is the same problem that we saw from these guys yesterday. They need to make sure that they get the rockets. We saw Penguin getting that huge triple kill at the end of the Envious game to actually secure the win there. That's the type of plays that we need to see from these guys going up against E6, because E6 is playing phenomenal today.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they weren't able to get that one actually return, having an overshield shotgun, you know, including rockets from Commonly there, and really not even get that close to the return. It must have been some sort of a misplay here by somebody on Team Liquid, because that's definitely one of the best case scenarios you can have going into the opposing team's base, focusing on a flag standoff.
A lot of of times it really comes down to that third player. You have the guy that's with the flag at your base, and then you have the rocket guy, and you have the overshield guy. Mainly what happens is you need that third guy to come and communicate with you off spawn and say, hey guys, I'm coming in to distract, and then that guy goes in as like a little sacrificial lamb, and then you just follow up once those players are weak.
And speaking of sacrificial lambs, that's normally going to be the commonly here. Definitely know what he feels like being that sacrificial lamb back in the day at times, but Boo being taken out. Now that shotgun was out of ammo as well, so you can look for that to respawn here shortly. Flag player Suspector knows these players are dying here shotgun side, trying to back up, stay alive as long as possible. Getting these new rockets. There's not a whole lot of time left on the clock. They need to make sure they use these effectively.
Ooh, Kratos. Kratos does get cleaned up eventually after picking up the double kill by Commonly, but that was big because if he didn't get any kills there, that would have been a really good opportunity for Liquid to collapse. And keep in mind, Kyle, that if Team Liquid is able to get a capture here, as Stellar picks up that overshield at 140, so unless this goes over to overtime, that's going to be the last one. But a couple things going on here. Team Liquid needs to get this capture in the next minute and 30 because there is no overtime if the flags are pulled out compared to previous Halos. And yeah, I mean, this is a really good play from Stellar because he doesn't have to really do anything. He can just sit back and play defense because of the time.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to be careful when you decide to switch up your strategy right towards the end of the game. You know, generally, if you're playing really aggressive and it's been working out, it's hard, or you create opportunities if you decide to start playing passively at the end. But, you know, with just a minute left in the game, having that overshield and your teammate with Rocket, that's essentially what you want to do. Make sure nobody sneaks by and just cut off all the angles. You know, as long as you can hold off until about 15 seconds or left, you know, they're not going to have enough time to actually move that flag across the map and tie
Spartan
up the game.
Crouching all the way around. Let's see if Stellar's able to do anything with this SMG to get the return. That's two players coming out from the side of Liquid. That's going to be the flag going in. It's tied 2-2. This is a good opportunity for Team Liquid also to get a possible double cap here, but Commonly ends up dying, and this is what we saw from Liquid yesterday. They have a never say die mentality. They even captured the flag yesterday in the Envious series with 10 seconds left after being down, so they are a very resilient squad. Penguin getting a couple DMR kills. Good opportunity from the push in. Keep in mind, Kyle, as you said, if this goes to overtime, which I think it's gonna, that's gonna be 3 minutes added to the clock, but it's gonna be the next capture wins no matter what.
And that was a great job there by Suspector, using the Hydra Launcher to stay alive. Picks up a kill here from Team Liquid. Now there's two members hiding in the corner. Hammy doing the best job he can to stay alive. Good nade from Spartan, not able to pick up quite yet that double kill. He's gonna end up losing shotgun as well. Everyone on Team Liquid trying to overload this shotgun side, but they're dropping too quickly. Now, Overshield is gonna spawn up at around 2 minutes, 40 seconds at this point here, with 3 minutes going on the clock for overtime. So that is essentially, or most likely gonna be the last one we see actually put to use.
It's gonna be 2 overshields total. There's gonna be that one at 240, like you said, that's popping up, and then another one that's gonna be at that 40 mark. But a lot of players for Team Liquid are gonna drop, so it looks like this overshield most likely gonna go over to E6, but a huge burn coming out from Penguin. If Penguin wasn't able to do that, then definitely overshield would have been over to E6, and it would have gave them a huge advantage. So nice job coming out from the side of Team Liquid. Let's see what Kratos has in store for us. Looks like he's going to be pushing over here. Kills a guy. That's going to be Spartan. That was no shields. Again, nice shots onto Rain, but perfect shots coming out from Rain instead. And Penguin, we've seen him use this plasma rifle, just ripping everyone's shields apart. Now you can see Suspector's like, man, how did that happen so quickly? And then the follow-up coming in from Team Liquid. So they're finally making their push over towards the base. 2 minutes left.
And 2 minutes left. You're exactly correct. Almost called Jinx there on you. But right now, Team Liquid commonly pushing over. He's got Tim or Rain still in the base. Now he's going to fall. 1 or 2 kills here. So Rain, oh, so close. As you can see, if he was able to survive there and not get taken out by Stellar, he would have had a clear shot to move across the base. You got Boo dropping to Spartan, who also escapes. The timing on that nade, Penguin just barely missed time it. Stellar going clutch here with grenades. Now OS, like we said, another minute before we're going to see that come up. Constant back and forth action, and that was in fact returned as well. Enigma6 going clutch.
That was huge coming out from these guys. That could have been it right there. It would have been going to game 5, but instead this one still is yet to be determined. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Spartan running around with the SMG has done a fantastic job staying alive this game. 30 seconds for the overshield. Really important that you don't give this one up, because if you're able to at least secure the overshield, that means that you're not going to lose the game, but at least that gives you the opportunity and the confidence that you possibly need to win this one. But Rain does a nice job getting this flagpole. There's only 2 alive for the side of E6, so let's see if they're able to work together and get that return. That's Stellar and Bubudubu coming up big. Whoever that is going for the ground pound a little bit too late there. Who was that? That was Rain. So Rain a little bit late to the party is going to allow Bubudubu and this E6 squad to pull this flag and possibly run it with the overshield coming out.
Right, and overshield's up in about 2 seconds here. So you see both teams setting up to try to control that bottom center. Spartan not able to grab it, gets a melee off, but as you can see, Kratos picks it up.
Kratos able to pick up that overshield. That could be the game-winning pickup, but he gets Spartan charge coming out. That's 3 players falling. Suspector, last guy alive. He touches it, not able to toss it up onto the platform. They aren't going to be able to return this one yet, though, because everyone on E6 is going to be spawning. What they need to do is grab this flag, toss it up to Bubudubu immediately. They have to, that took a little bit too long. He had to do it immediately. They have to toss this one up, or it's going to be 8 seconds left. Bubudubu, is he going to be able to get the touch? No, he's not able to get the touch, and also another player is getting the touch on the side of Team Liquid. So heads-up play coming out from Liquid. This is going to be a full map replay.
And just like we saw yesterday, these two teams are going to battle it out on Stasis. Stasis being the first 2 times that we've seen teams actually tie so far in Pro League. And looking at some of these stats here, we had Rain dropping 31 kills. That's 10 more kills than anyone else on his team. As far as the E6N goes, you had 29 out of Stellar, including 4 flag returns. So this kid is doing a lot for this squad right now.
Yeah, E6, they're playing hot. Team Liquid, they're playing pretty well as well. This series has been really back and forth besides that Plaza Strongholds game.
And now that we're going into a replay, Team Liquid playing from behind, ties it up last night, and then wins the replay. How do you see this one playing?
I think that it's probably going to be the same thing. I just think that E6 was playing that one a little bit better. They secured the caps. They controlled the rockets a little bit better, especially that first cap that we saw with Stellar. So Team Liquid, again, though, you can't count them out. They are, you know, a never say die team, and we saw yesterday what they can do against Envy. So I think that this one's a toss-up right now, but I do want to say Game 5, so I'm going to say Liquid's going to win this one.
I kind of agree with you there. I mean, if history tells us anything, or if it ever repeats itself, we may be seeing exactly what we saw in that Envy Stasis CTF matchup.
Well, keep in mind, if it does go to Game 5, then it's going to be Regret Slayer, and we saw E6 fall yesterday in Regret Slayer pretty handily to Optic Gaming. Yeah, Optic Gaming, they're Optic Gaming. They're really, really solid. They're the world champions. They are the champions of the summer season. So if you're E6, you obviously don't want this one going to Game 5, especially because it's Regret Slayer.
Especially when you have a lead, and then you had a lead in that game as well. So we do have the players set up in the match. Let's not waste any time and jump right back into this one. A rematch on Stasis CTF. Let's kick it off with Suspector.
Yeah, and if you're Team Liquid, you got to be careful about the Bubudubu nade that flew in last time. And Bubudubu picks up 2 kills again to start the game. So fantastic start coming out for E6, just like they did last game. Getting another free cap to start this game would be fantastic.
All right, still tied up 0-0. The OS is gone. The Rockets have been picked up as well. Team Liquid trying to sneak around. Commonly always being that flanker. He knows his teammates are dying. It's going to be interesting to see if he goes all the way up for the flag, and it looks like he will elect to go ahead and do so. You see all 4 members of Enigma6 and their player outlines are over in Team Liquid's base, and Spartan is taken off spawn as well, or killed off spawn.
Well, I'm surprised that Commonly is going to elect to use the DMR. Perfect shots. If he's able to win this fight, that would be absolutely insane. Commonly, is he going to be able to do it? Bubudubu takes him out, but that was enough to allow Rain to push in here. So I was expecting Commonly to give up his position and show where he was by getting a flagpole, but instead makes another heads-up play. Penguin's pulling this one as well. So Commonly getting into the base is the reason that Team Liquid's not down 1-0 to start this game.
We'll take a look. So this is going to be another flag standoff to get this one started, and that's going to definitely play out or go in Team Liquid's advantage, as they didn't have rockets or overshield to get it started. So flag, interesting position for that flag to drop. You got 2 members now going down for Team Liquid. You can see LLOS there, or Kratos going for the flag return. Not able to stand on there long enough. Still plenty of time.
Stellar's taking way too long to go over there. If he would have just sprinted over there, he could have double returned that with Kratos, but he wanted to just sit there and try to lay down shots on anyone to give Kratos the advantage and hope that he stayed alive. But he's just a little bit too late now. and now he's charging in by himself. So these guys have to have a real educated push if they want to be able to do something here, because Team Liquid's just not going to allow one person to come up with the radar on and get a return.
And both teams have to be extremely careful here, because we've got new rockets getting ready to spawn and new overshield. Stellar loses that 1v1 battle, so good job by Rain actually taking advantage of that. You get another player Suspector dropping. This is not what you want to do as your E6s. This is going to be a good opportunity for Liquid to grab this new overshield and take some control of this map. But just as I say that, it's not going to happen. Stellar does once again grab that at about 9 minutes 48 seconds, and he's consistently been overshield oriented in this replay as well as the last game.
Yeah, these teams are on top of the overshield. The overshield's always being picked up around that 48, 47, 46 mark, and that just means that the coaches are really on top of these things. But as I'm talking, it looks like Team Liquid was able to secure the cap after getting that flag return, so really curious to see how that one happened. Someone ended up clutching it. Sorry that we missed that one, but Stellar gets taken out, and Team Liquid, they're up 1-0. Let's see if they're able to maintain this lead, because we've seen what's happened in this series so far.
And Stellar wasn't able to secure the kill with those rockets. That was a great job. I believe it was commonly just staying alive and using a thrust to dodge the splash damage.
And Penguin over here crouching around the corner, trying to see what's going on below him. Grabs the shotgun. I don't know how many times we've seen this guy with the shotgun so far, but it looks like he gets a little bit too aggressive, not expecting another player to come up and help. That's going to be Boo Boo Doo Boo working with Suspector to get the kill onto Penguin. And that's a really good kill, because you want to make sure that you take that gun out of his hands.
Commonly was weak. Stellar picks up a kill with just a couple shots. He's going to try to support Kratos as he's pushing into the base, but didn't know there was a player hiding. Penguin's going to pick up the 1v1 kill, and that's going to be members dropping for both teams. 3 dead now here for Enigma6. We'll keep it on with Boo Boo Doo Boo as he spawns and grabs a new Hydra launcher. Big battle going top center, and it works out perfectly as he grabs a melee assist. Now it is a 1-0 lead here for Team Liquid, but this flag's quickly going to be pulled, and Boo Boo Doo Boo is no one shy to run a flag, and he can run that quite quickly.
Yeah, Boo Boo Doo Boo definitely the MVP right next to Stellar so far for E6 in this series. I know we were talking about Kratos in that Truth CTF game, but it was Boo Boo Doo Boo who ended up getting the pull that they needed to make sure that Team Liquid didn't get the return. So these guys really stepping up when they need them. Kratos knows that overshield's coming up, secures that capture. It's tied up 1-1, and they need to make sure that they secured the rockets at the same time. So Stellar's going to rotate over here, make sure that they get that overshield. Stellar again picking up 2 more kills. However, it is a 2-on-2 situation. Again, the overshield going over to E6. They're on top of that one, and they're going to be able to utilize this positioning to go into the Team Liquid base.
And we'll go ahead and take a look at Suspectors. He's running around with all sorts of candy right now. He's got the overshield. He's got 2 rockets left in this weapon as well.
Oh, Penguin clutching it. That was a huge assassination, just like you said, Kyle. He pretty much had everything there in his possession, the pretty much dream combination on this map. And yeah, I mean, Stellar as he's picking up kills, but it's pretty much like Stellar versus Penguin right now, because how well these guys are performing. They're really putting on a show.
Now Rain, I believe, knows there's a player crouching over here. Kratos doesn't know where he's coming from as well. Gets spotted out, tries to do what he can, actually picks up the stick as well. Both players are going to drop there. Big battles happening top center, and 3 dead for E6, 2 down for Team Liquid. So you won't be able to see them actually grab a flag here quite yet, but they are definitely pushing up past this 50-yard line.
Penguin really likes to hold this position. This is a good spot to hold because it's the 50-yard line, and that makes sure that you can hold top center as well. So if he has one other person, it looks like 3 other people locking down that side of the map, he should be pretty good, but elects to drop because he wasn't expecting anyone to be there. Needs to make sure that he's a little bit more aware, because when you end up giving up your position, or by throwing a grenade, people can see where the projection of the grenade was coming from. So it makes it you know, that much easier to be spotted.
And I've got the death finger right now. Everybody we go to is dropping like flies right now. New rockets are getting ready to come up here pretty shortly as well, and you've got members of Team Liquid dropping. Taking a quick look at the stats here. Rockets 10 seconds to come up, but look at that. Stellar 17 kills, picking up right where he left off, and once again leading this team as far as slays.
And look at Commonly, he's trying to push into the base again. Penguin picking up the shotgun kill. That guy is constantly going for that weapon, but Commonly constantly being a nuisance as well in the enemy base. Rain coming in with the rockets, so this is a good opportunity for these guys. However, E6 getting a couple clutch picks, making it a 2-on-2 situation, means that Rain's gonna have to reset with these rockets and make sure that he tries to secure the overshield, but it looks like instead of going for the overshield, he's gonna elect to push over there towards the E6 base. and Penguin also did pick up that overshield. So finally, an overshield going over to Team Liquid. But as I say that, Suspector gets the back whack onto Penguin, so a little bit of revenge coming out for the side of E6 after Penguin got that big assassination on the overshield rocket guy. But Rain, let's see if he's able to do anything. Kratos, nice job of able to take Rain down to no shields. This is the opportunity for Liquid. They have everyone trapped over here in the closet, getting their grenades. Last player alive. Kratos ends up spawning, so he can just collapse if you're Rain. Getting some shots there with the DMR. Needs to play a little bit more aggressive. Here it is. Nice flank. There's the double kill. Can just sit there and throw a grenade if he wants. Ends up just clambering back up. There it is. Nice grenade. And he gets taken out by Stellar, but that was enough to secure that capture from Commonly. Fantastic job slaying and distracting coming out from Timmy Tinkler.
Take a quick look at the stats. Stellar, 19 kills. On the other hand, you got Rain and Penguin, the Elevate members coming back together and leading the slays here for the team. Commonly still got several shots left in this shotgun. You can count on this to be pretty effective. Already grabs a kill, some sort of, I think that was a team nade that actually ended up finishing that player off, but great grenades as well. If he's able to grab this kill on Suspector, absolutely count a good opportunity for this flag to go in, but just like that, all 4 members now for E6 are alive.
He still has the shotgun though, and he does have help, so he needs to just hold these guys off. Both those players are no shields. He could potentially get a triple kill if he plays this one right, but there goes the return. He needs to realize the return happened and then crouch around the corner just like he's doing. I would just slow play this one. Wait around the corner here. You don't even have to pop out. If you pop out, you're going to end up dying, but he does get around the corner as Rain picks up a double kill, so let's see if he's able to get this kill. He is, so Bates Boo Boo Doo Boo in, no shields with the shotgun, ends up getting that kill. Still needs to reload his pistol though and only has 1 more shot left, so let's see if he's able to get this pull and try to do something here. Commonly's always in the enemy base.
Oh, and he's trying to hug the right side of the wall as much as possible to avoid any kind of nades or even getting spotted. Stellar dies, and then Commonly pulls a flag instantly. That's going to put him on spawn. He's not going to be able to do or be impactful. Kratos going clutch though. Yeah,
Kratos getting that big double. I don't know if I agree with this run here coming from Commonly. He'd had that whole, didn't know that the player outlines were there. Obviously didn't know where the players were coming from, but that was a little bit of a weird route. He could have just secured it on the left side of the map here, and then they would have been able to get that. However, it looks like E6 is going to be able to get this return. Possible counter cap because of that misplay in the route running coming out from Commonly, but this one isn't put in quite yet. It looks like Team Liquid's going to be flooding over towards the base. Commonly trying to make up for that play and get another flagpole. Meanwhile, Spartan getting the kill onto Kratos. So this is the opportunity for Team Liquid to get the return. They are able to do so. Keep in mind, Commonly still is on the other side of the map too, so let's see what's going to happen.
I did not see Team Liquid being in a position to be able to return that, but just as I was thinking it, they do clutch it up and put 2 members on the flag. It did fall to shotgun 1 essentially, so it was pretty much good scenario for Team Liquid as nobody was really in position to grab any other touches or reset the time there. So Team Liquid buying extra opportunities to secure this one and win this rematch.
Stellar is really the only one going huge in the slay department. E6 is heavily getting outslayed, and that's what we're seeing, the amount of collapses coming from these guys. Boo Boo Doo Boo doing his best to stay alive. Let's see if they're able to get this return here on the side of Liquid and make this one a 2-2 series. There it is, Spartan getting the return. Are they going to be able to secure this capture? Let's see who has the flag. Commonly going for this one. It looks like the flag's getting returned by Suspector. It looks like Commonly's going to return this flag as Rain is going for the capture, and that's it. They put it in. This series is all tied up 2-2. We're going to a game number 5.
And it wasn't as much as Penguin versus Stellar as it was Rain versus Stellar. Look at these 2 guys kind of being a step above everyone else on the team. 26 and 27 kills, but Penguin on the other hand, a lot of captures.
Well, that's what's scary for, you know, if you're going up against Rain, because he's a silent killer. We didn't even talk about him that much that game, and he's sitting there dropping the most kills for his squad.
And can you imagine right now if Enigma6, this lineup that finished 2nd at the finals, if they're going to go down 0-2 in week 1 of the fall season?
Well, it's very likely they could potentially be playing the 2 best teams so far. We saw how good this Team Liquid squad is, dropping that Envy squad who we had 2nd in the power ranking. So based on that, we would have to move Team Liquid up right now as the 2nd best team based on their performance yesterday. So E6 going down 0-2. wouldn't be the end of the world because they played so well today and they can carry that momentum and confidence over. And as we saw last season, they started off pretty slow as well and then really went on that big hot streak. But yeah, I mean, this is a really good sign for both teams because E6, even though they're playing well, Team Liquid's not playing their best at this point. So Team Liquid has to take away that even when they're not playing their best, they can still hang with a team like E6, which is a good sign for them and their fans.
And I'm really glad you brought up about being, potentially the second best team in the league. I think it was pretty easy to say. Everyone was predicting this Envy squad to be, as far as power rankings go, number 2. You can't cross out Enigma6 when you've got Boo Boo Dubu and Kratos on the team who have performed so well in the past. And then, of course, Team Liquid, we spoke to them before. Spartan was really confident in this team. You've also got Luminosity kind of predicting themselves at that 3rd, 4th spot, but I mean, it's hard to argue that Team Liquid is not one of the best teams in the league right now.
We'll see what happens on this Game 5. They haven't been put to the test in a Game 5 quite yet, too, and that's a big thing for the team is when you can win those close series. So, again, both these teams are going to be feeling really good no matter how this series goes. Obviously want to win it, but they can't hold their heads down too high based on their performances, and they're putting on a good show.
And then with this being Regret Slayer Game number 5, how do you see, or which team do you think this is going to benefit more?
I think this is going to benefit Team Liquid more because we saw what happened to E6 yesterday. They got dismantled by Optic Gaming, and they were hiding so much around the map. It didn't seem like they had much of a retake strategy besides sprinting over there towards Car 1, towards the opposite base, which is a really popular strategy. Typically, when you get caught in Regret Slayer, you have 2 options. You can either sit inside the base and wait for a pick on a guy top center or a guy that charges into the base and then flat out and get the kills, or you can just immediately spawn and sprint across the map. Very similar to Truth CTF when you spawn Carbine side and you just sprint all the way to the opposite base or towards the opposite bubble, and then your teammates are stuck on that original base that you spawned on, and now you have at least maybe 50% of the map, 40% of the map under your control.
And that's a good point because that's something we see out of Commonly. He's a perfect example of that. He's a player that will just put his head down and sprint all the way across the map, and we saw that time and time again on that Stasis CTF. This is Slayer on Regret, first 50 kills to win. We saw Optic Gaming spank Enigma6 on this yesterday, but like we said, Team Liquid, I think, is a team that will be able to set up and collapse really well and use the similar strategies that we saw out of Optic Gaming.
Getting this overshield is going to be a big step, and it looks like Commonly is going to grab that one. Kratos was the only one laying down shots, so advantage going over to Team Liquid, even though they aren't winning the game quite yet. Down 2-1. Let's see if Stellar's able to take some damage onto Commonly and get some of his overshield off. Nice job taking as much of the overshield off as he can with that plasma caster, and Commonly doing a nice job as well, crouching off radar. Sees Boo Boo Dubu below him. He should have a nice advantageous position here, but didn't realize that Boo Boo Dubu also had that plasma, and nice job from Commonly jumping out and getting that headshot. Confident play coming out from him.
I thought that was really kind of a questionable challenge. Like if Boo Boo Dubu was calling out that player and even signifying that he may be dropping on him, you'd like to see the players at Carbine help him out, but Commonly sneaking around the map, sees Suspector sleeping for a minute, decides he's going to put a little sticky on his head and just back off.
Yeah, that was a nice blue hat there that Commonly put onto that player, and I like the way that Commonly's playing confident here. As you were saying, I don't know if you necessarily agree with that play, but nice shots and a killing spree. Really glad we started this one off with Commonly. Well, we started with Kratos, but I'm glad we switched on over to this guy because he's playing really well so far. Needs to fly towards top center in this instance because there is a player, that's Boo Boo Dubu again, that's going to spawn behind him. Crouched, picked up the battle rifle, but in an instance like that, we saw how Commonly was moving around and confident. Once he was finally stagnant and looking around the map, that's when he finally died. So that's something to keep in mind when you're really in the flow of the game and moving really well. Continue to move around and be unpredictable so players can't call you out and give up your positioning.
Yeah, I thought almost that he was trying to block the spawn there, but it didn't actually, wasn't in a position where it was going to affect the spawning. And Stellar, although he was just, or Boo Boo Dubu, although he was just killed, comes off that spawn in the exact same location.
Yeah, and it's going to be a 7-kill lead here coming out for Team Liquid, nearly doubling E6's kills, and the overshield's coming up here pretty shortly in the next 10 seconds, and the plasma caster is going to be up. So advantage over to E6 because they did just get a kill, and they also have that plasma caster. Boo Boo Dubu needs to back off, just stay alive, make sure that he's sitting there watching bottom center, and it looks like a player is going to be charging him as well. So nice job collapsing by Team Liquid, getting that priority target because E6 was going to be able to stop them, and it looks like E6 was able to get the overshield. So they allocated the resources towards killing the plasma Plasmacaster guy instead of going towards the Overshield. Curious to see if they maybe grabbed a green gun in order to counter that Overshield.
And Penguin does get some shots on Suspector, but this is going to be a hard 1v1 challenge. He is going to go for it and does have some help from Rain, so that works out perfectly. Still a 9-kill lead. As we just discussed, Overshield did go over to Enigma6. Penguin, good job staying alive.
Wow.
Even that nade nicks him, but not enough to take him out.
Yeah, nice job using the ledge. He missed the jump there. Probably going to do this jump over to get towards the bridge again. There he is. Sees Booba-Dooba in front of him. So sometimes you get rewarded for knowing those little intricate jumps there. Not a very difficult jump to hit, but a very useful jump nonetheless. But he needs to get back up onto the top of the map because being down bottom center is probably the worst thing that you could potentially do. Nice another little jump onto the bridge again is going to get him out of the bad area. And it looks like he's going to go for that scatter shot that was dropped by Rain. And we saw how much he did work with the shotgun, so E6 is going to have to take him out. Suspector drops down and kill him, so Penguin couldn't get back up onto the top of the map. Good job by E6 shutting him down.
And that scatter shot can be extremely useful here on this map. And Penguin, as long as he did stay alive for quite some time, juking and jiving around that bottom center, going to top center, but just not going to be enough as he finally fully commits to grabbing the scatter. And
we're starting to see a slow little comeback here coming out from E6, which was a 8 or 9 kill game, is about a 7 kill game, now a 6 kill game. So they're starting to step it up a little bit more. Nice shots coming out from Stellar, back-to-back perfects. Let's see if he's able to do so again on Commonly, who's going to be pushing up towards that pink side. Nice grenade is going to hit Commonly, but he's hit as well. Taking down no shields is going to back off. Looks like Penguin trying to get the kill. Stellar staying alive again under the base. Kratos gets a nice kill onto Commonly at the same time, and here comes the comeback for E6.
And Stellar trying to stay alive as long as possible, but getting called out in front of the base. He's going to drop. Now, Control still kind of up in the air. You got the new Plasmacaster up as well, but Suspector with that scatter shot does pick up a kill before he is taken out. And as you can see, players are dying left and right. Plasmacaster here. You have two members, Stellar and Penguin, trying to collapse on this weapon. Now, Penguin has to back down as Stellar kind of wins the nade battle up there. You have a player from Team Liquid going car 3 and top center. Good job by Penguin. You can see everyone on this team using that jump consistently.
This is really big for Team Liquid. If they can stop the push here from E6, they should be able to snowball this one and win. But if E6 is able to push out and get the slays pushing Carbine side, then they may be able to take advantage of this too. So Suspector getting that kill onto Commonly is a big start for E6.
Right, Rain has a carbine. You have Commonly Rain both drop here. Stellar trying to move around with this storm rifle. You can see just how effective this weapon can be. And all of a sudden, we're back at a 2-kill game.
Yeah, that's big. That was a huge point in time in the game. Team Liquid had full control. Everybody from the side of E6 stuck in the base. That's when you're time for Team Liquid to go out and push. This is the same situation that Team Liquid had E6 in, and now E6 getting that kill onto Commonly is going to be able to open up the map for them, and there they go. They're starting to swarm in, picking them off one by one. Now it's tied, and keep in mind the Overshield's coming up in about 40 seconds, so E6 could walk away with this one.
And this is our first lead change as well that we've seen, as Enigma6 is up by 1 kill over halfway through the game. In the kill feed, you can see Spartan has that scatter shot, grabs a kill. Ooh, Stellar almost gets taken out by Rain, but does end up hitting that last pistol headshot. He is moving around bottom center with the Plasmacaster. I haven't seen him charge up this weapon at all, and that's something we've been seeing from players a lot more this fall season, but still putting this weapon to good use.
Well, yeah, good job bouncing it off the ground there. Typically, you bounce it when you're just looking for a miracle kill or just to cut off some angles there. When you have less ammo, it is smarter to charge it up as well because it only costs 1 shot compared, and you get multiple explosions out of it. But yeah, I agree. Definitely something that's been very underutilized so far. Still, players looking to how to master the Plasmacaster as they did with the Fuel Rod on this map. In my opinion, the Fuel Rod a little bit more dominant. So I think that the Plasmacaster was put in to make this a little bit less snowbally, and as you can see, it's been a nice little comeback here for E6 because of that.
And now Booba-Dooba and Enigma6 squad, they have that most recent Overshield. Still a 2-kill lead. You have Penguin trying to check that radar and do what he can as far as kills go, but not going to be enough. And now biggest lead of the game so far by Enigma6, coming out with just over 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it's 5 kills now, and I don't think E6 is going to choke on this one. They're definitely smelling blood. They want to win their first series here so far in the fall season, and put an end to the naysayers. And Spartan, though, under the base, doing a nice job staying alive. And also getting a kill onto Boo Boo Dubu is Rain. So E6, that was their opportunity to capitalize and shut this one out and win this series. But now it's a little bit closer.
And they have 2 people bottom carbine in the tunnels. And I don't know if they knew or if Team Liquid knows that they had the better positioning. You see Penguin kind of getting caught off guard top center. And Suspector's going to clean up a kill there. Back to a 5, now up to a 6-kill lead. Although they were just able to bring that down to just 3 kills. They really cannot die here.
Nice
Perfect shots by Commonly, and that might just go ahead and seal the deal.
Yeah, Kratos also has this scatter shot too, and the positional advantage on this player. Bounces it off the wall, taking down Rain. So nice job by Kratos utilizing the scatter shot to its full potential. Only 3 more kills here for E6. If you're Liquid, you need to just make sure that you get a pick here. It's not over yet. You can still potentially have a 47-44 score if you kill everybody. Starts with getting that kill onto Stellar, so nice job by Rain. They need to make sure they kill Kratos, who's looking for a kill. So nice job, Rain again getting Suspector. They need to immediately kill this guy under the base, and they do. 47-43, as I was saying, Kyle, it could eventually be 47-44. Overshield coming up here pretty soon. This is game number 5. E6 still looking for their first one. Team Liquid is undefeated so far, 1-0. It's all about this battle. Bottom center for the Overshield. Stellar ends up getting a kill onto Spartan.
But it's 49.
Yeah, it's it. That's it. E6 is going to walk away with the win, even though Team Liquid had the Overshield. So just an impressive performance coming out by Stellar. MVP so far of the day, 15-7 in game number 5.
And week 1 is starting to, kind of fall out a lot different than most people were expecting. Based on yesterday and watching what Team Liquid was able to essentially wipe the floor with Envy, I thought they were going to come out stronger or even stronger today, but it's the exact opposite. The Enigma6 squad is the one that really came out and showed their resilience, even losing the rematch or the replay and losing the first game as well. So really, or the second game as well. So really back and forth between these teams, and Enigma6 showing that they're no pushover team and they're still here to compete.
Yeah, I knew that E6 had a chance in this series based on the game type selection. I thought they were going to win. If they would win, it would be on Stasis Flag and it would have been a 3-1, but they end up proving me wrong and winning on Regret Slayer 50-44. But for me, the big key to this game was game 1, because if they just lost 3-0, it could have been pretty ugly for them. They would have went down 2-0 in this series, and then once they're down 2-0, I doubt that they would have been able to win that Strongholds Plaza game based on the momentum. So to me, it was all about that game 1, not giving up. Boo Boo Dubu going in and getting that touch, tossing it down. Kratos really starting to turn it on, not missing any shots. And he really didn't turn it off for a majority of that series. He really stepped up. So everybody on E6 definitely playing at least 50% better than they were yesterday.
I mean, yeah, we talked about how they may have lost their what was their best player as in Hook, but Stellar had a great performance this series.
Impressive.
And we've talked about this kind of time and time again, so who knows where this team is going to end up once the transfer period hits. But this chemistry is starting to click, and, picking up a convincing win over this Team Liquid, who ultimately defeated Team Envious already, it's got to be a difficult decision to make those kind of changes.
Yeah, and it looks like we have another winner view, so let's see who this is going to be. Looking forward to it. If you had to guess who's going to be, let's go with Boo Boo Dubu. Yeah, Boo Boo Dubu. Can you hear me? Are you there, dude?
It's Kratos, man.
Oh,
what's up?
Oh, Kratos. We're not disappointed. We wanted to get the Kratos interview, so we're happy to see you, man. You really stepped it up in that series. You only had 4 kills in the beginning of Truth CTF. Where was the turning point for you? Were you just like, screw this, we're not losing, I'm going in?
Well, Suspector came over, and my connection is not handling it good. We were lagging the whole series, so I literally just stopped using my pistol. I just started using assault rifles and stuff, and then it was just easy after that, I guess. At first, I want to give a shout out to Enigma6. They're taking so much shit right now, and they haven't done anything but treat us so well. You guys, no one here knows what's actually going on besides us. So shut your mouth. The whole community, for real.
Well, I mean, that's really on you guys for keeping your business under wraps. People are going to talk about it. That's our job. But, how did it feel to come back after losing yesterday and to win today? You guys started off last season very slow and then really picked it up. We know that you guys have the potential to be, over towards the top teams. What was the big difference yesterday compared to today?
ESL didn't forfeit us game 1. I mean, that was the big difference. Other than that, we were just playing I mean, we're playing not to lose at that point. Today we actually got to play all 3 matches, so obviously we're going to win.
All right. Well, so you're coming off of this win here now. Of course, we had the rough start to the season before on that day 1. But now that you've seen all the teams kind of play it out and you were just able to go up head-to-head against the Team Liquid, where do you see this new Team Liquid squad falling as far as, if you had to consider a power rankings kind of schedule?
I don't know. I would say like CLG's at 1, we're at 2. Then it's like NV, Liquid, and who's the other team?
Luminosity.
Aided's team.
Luminosity.
Luminosity, yeah. They're gonna do like 3, 4, 5.
Gotcha.
So we'll see.
We're kind of seeing the same kind of predictions here and from the community as well. But Kratos, definitely want to congratulate you on your first win of the season here, to you and your team. We definitely understand there's been a lot going on. We hope it all works out for you guys and you're able to continue the season here and have a successful run to finals.
Shout out to E6. Peace.
All right, well, you heard it there from Kratos himself. Wants to give some love to his organization, Enigma6, and still has a lot to, kind of deal with outside of the game, as we talked about, distractions time and time again yesterday.
You know what true love for your team is getting it tattooed. So I want to see an E6 tattoo coming out from Kratos since he's given so much props. But yeah, these guys really turned it around. I was talking about yesterday how big of a deal when you have to forfeit the first game is. And I don't think that anyone forced anyone to forfeit anything. I'm pretty sure the rules are set for a reason. But, it does affect you because you immediately lose the first game and you're kind of bummed. And then you get a lot of wind taken out of your sail. Meanwhile, Optic Gaming was super pumped up and you get a free win on that first game. So they're feeling good. They had a lot to play for. They wanted to, do some big stuff for their fans. But it's good to see E6 playing well because they did get second in Worlds. They are a solid team. So now hopefully they're putting these past things behind them and really focusing, and I think we saw that today.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left in the season and plenty of time for all the seedings and win-loss ratios. It could kind of settled out over the course of a 7-week season. Now, of course, we want to hear from you home or from everyone there at home as well. So make sure you tweet at us using the hashtag HCS. You can always also tweet using @ESL Halo and @HCS. So we're going to take a short commercial break and be back right after this.